gentlemen, we welcome you out to the 28th edition of the Tukey Bowl, featuring the Desert Vista Thunder and the Mountain Pointe Pride. James Spoovy alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. Ed, an exciting matchup here tonight, as it always is in this one of the most historic rivalry games here in the Grand Canyon State.
And JP, this is a one where you throw out the records. It doesn't matter that Desert Vista is 1-8, Mountain Pointe is 5-4. They don't care about that. They care about the Thunder and the Pride. They care about this rivalry, which as you mentioned, JP, number 28 is 14-13 Mountain Pointe, as you said, right? So that lets you know how tight this matchup is, and it's going to be another fantastic matchup tonight. It was a 5-point game last year. Mountain Pointe was able to go to Desert Vista and get a victory tonight, so I expect another tight game tonight.
It's a great night out. It's nice and cool. It's finally cooled off here in the Grand Canyon State, and this should be an exciting football game. Offensive fireworks all over the place. Quarterback Seth Hansen for Desert Vista has thrown for over 2,500 yards, and then they have a couple running backs, as they usually do here at Mountain Pointe High School. One of those guys, Jamarlin Bobo Otis.
Yeah, it was great to talk to him on Tuesday night on the Desert Gridiron game plan. The young man transferred in from Louisiana. He is a straight beast. So look for Bobo Otis tonight, because he's going to run the football to large effect for Mountain Pointe.
We're going to take a quick commercial timeout, and when we return, we will visit with the head coach of the Desert Vista Thunder, Mr. Jake McSpadden, joins us after the break. Stay with us. Thursday night kickoff pregame show is on the air. It's the 28th annual Tukey Bowl.
You know, in the time it took me to get this coffee, there was most likely a serious car accident here in the Valley. I'm attorney Fred Thomas. I grew up in the Valley. I've been helping injured people in the Valley for almost 20 years.
If you're injured, contact an attorney that, like you, calls the Valley home. And, like with so many others, will get you the compensation for your pain.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, call me, and I'll get you the compensation you deserve.
If you're injured, call Thomas Law.
Visibly eliminate wrinkles and under eye bags in 10 minutes with results that last up to 10 hours without needles and without surgery. Plexiderm does it for only $14.95. Try it this Thanksgiving. Visit plexidermtrial.com.
Thank you for calling Raffi Law Group. How can I help you?
I'm Brandon Raffi from Raffi Law Group. And Arizona is my home. So if you've been injured in an accident, call a local attorney. Call Raffi.
Folks, welcome back to Mountain Pointe High School, the 28th edition of the Tukey Bowl. Desert Pointe and Mountain Pointe and Desert Vista about to get this thing on in a little bit. We are pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Thunder, Mr. Jake McSpadden. Jake, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you joining us on Tuesday and joining us here on pregame. I know you're getting prepared for a great game to end the season. How are the guys feeling? How is their mental preparation? How's their physical preparation? How are these guys ready for the game in about 20 minutes or so?
Hey, man, we're fired up to be here, man. The kids always get hyped up for this game. It doesn't matter what the records are on either side. They know a lot of kids that are over here. I coached a lot of these kids over here, so we're all fired up to see what we can do out here.
Coach, I asked you the same question on Tuesday night, but how excited are you to be the head man in charge there at Desert Vista in your first Tukey Bowl?
Oh, man, it's you get excited for these type of games. It's a rivalry that's been around for 28 years now. It's always a battle. It's fun to be my first, and I'm looking forward to see what happens.
And, of course, we always know that the battle in the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, we talk about it every game. Don't we, JP? The importance of great offensive line play and great defensive line play, getting pressure on the opposition, on the quarterbacks and running backs. How key, how paramount will that be tonight for you guys to get a victory tonight if your lines do a great job on both sides?
Absolutely. We tell our offense all the time, man, we will go as you go. If they can do their job, hold up, give Seth enough time back there to throw the ball, open up some holes for our running back, good things will happen. And on the defensive side, man, we got to get some pressure on both those quarterbacks they got back there, plus stop Bobo. So,
what can we expect to see tonight from the Desert Vista Thunder? Obviously not the record you guys would like to come into the ball game with, but we talked about how we kind of throw those records out here tonight. It's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. Both teams square off. It's 11 guys on 11 guys, and we're going to play some football.
Absolutely. It's either going to be a knockdown, drag-out defensively, or it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be basketball on turf. Either one. It's going to be one of those two. It's going to be a great time.
Coach, talk about your quarterback, Seth Hansen, of course, Isaac Price, two monsters, a great quarterback and a great wide receiver for him to throw to. Again, how paramount will they be if they get off to a good start, a fast start, and they continue to play really good football on the offensive side? How big will that be for you guys to get a victory if they're hot?
it's going to be a lot for us. So as long as they get off and they do what they've done the last few weeks, every time they have a good week, we typically have a good week offensively. And if that happens tonight, I expect good things.
Coach, it's a long season, as we know. Talk about support from your assistant coaches and how much work they put on day in and day out for the Thunder.
Oh, man, I got 20 of them out here that are great dudes. We're all young, energetic guys, and they put in more work than I ever could expect them to do. And man, they're my guys. I'm ready to go to war with them.
Coach, despite the record, how proud are you of your young men and your entire program, your entire coaching staff, and you for making it to game number 10, 1-8? Of course, you'd like to be 8-1, 9-0. We talked about it on Tuesday, but the record is what it is. It is what it is. But you are at this point because you guys persevered and you made it through to game 10.
We have, man. These kids, especially these seniors, I got 24 of them that have been through a lot over the last 4 years. Four coaches in 4 years. They've been through a ton. So the fact that they're here competing, doesn't matter the record, man. They know what the real definition of commitment and dedication is. So I'm proud to be with them.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Good luck tonight. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to a very exciting football game.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Coach Jake McSpadden joining us here on the pregame show. Stay with us. When we return, we will catch up with the head coach for the Mountain Pointe Pride, Mr. Eric Lauer, joins us after the break. Thursday night kickoff pregame show on the air for the 28th annual Tukey Bowl.
We love doctors. They bring us into the world. They take care of us when we're sick.
But when they make a mistake during pregnancy or childbirth, it can have lifelong catastrophic consequences for you and your child. If you believe your child suffered a birth injury, call Learn and Row today.
Have you compared your Medicare plan recently? With eHealth, you can compare Medicare plans side by side for free. So we invited people to give eHealth a try and discover how easy it can be to find your Medicare match.
This is pretty amazing. I can go on a vacation with this money. I have quite a few prescriptions.
That's why people call us. We're going to compare plans, and I'm going to try to get you as much bang for your buck as possible.
That's great.
This one here covers all your prescriptions, your doctors as well.
Oh, wonderful.
I have a hard time with this.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. Based on our conversation today, I would highly recommend this plan.
You're so helpful. You don't know.
I'm excited for you, sir. Again, my name is Cham. If you have any other questions, give me a ring.
Thank you very much. Oh my God, that was super easy.
See how your Medicare plan stacks up with the big changes for 2025. Just call this number or get started at eHealth.com. Compare plans that cover your doctors, prescriptions, pharmacy, and budget. And compare plans from the nation's top insurance companies. They pay us to help you. How much do you think you'll be able to save using eHealth?
At least $300 a month.
Would you say you found your Medicare match?
Yes, I did. What Cham did, she explained to me exactly what I needed to know.
Well, I have a surprise for you. Cham, come on out.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a pleasure to meet you today, sir.
What does it feel like to be face-to-face?
You helped me out quite a bit.
Call to meet your advisor. They're paid the same no matter which Medicare Advantage plan you choose. Ask them about eHealth Live Advice or get started on your own at eHealth.com. Either way, it's always a free service. See if you could get more for less with eHealth, like these folks did.
The savings are unbelievable.
I could see the costs side by side.
eHealth is wonderful. $1,200 savings in my pocket. I was really pleasantly surprised with that.
Call 1-928-543-2310 to compare Medicare plans in Phoenix or visit eHealth.com.
eHealth, your Medicare matchmaker.
Big rigs can cause big injuries. Get big help. Get Learner and Row.
Learner and Row is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
To Carl Kiefer Stadium here on the campus of Mountain Pointe High School. It's the 28th edition of the Tukey Bowl. We're now pleased to be joined by head coach Eric Lauer of the Mountain Pointe Pride. Coach, first off, it's great to see you again. Glad you're feeling better. Tell us about the mood for your team here as we go into this rivalry game here this evening.
Oh, we're excited. The stage is set. It's the Tukey Bowl, 28th, I think, game. No more to be said. We're excited and just have a lot of gratitude to have the opportunity to be out here. Yes, sir.
And we always talk about it, Coach. Throw out the records. It doesn't matter at Desert Vista's 1-8, you're 5-4. You guys could both be 9-0. It really doesn't matter. It's about the Thunder and the Pride, right?
Correct. It does not matter. I mean, they would end their season on a high if they could turn us away tonight. So we understand that, and we're ready to meet the challenge.
Coach, we had the pleasure of visiting with Jamarlin Bobo Otis the other night on the Desert Gridiron game plan. How is this young man coming here from Louisiana in his first year with the Mountain Pointe Pride? Obviously, he's a senior, but how has he continued the long tradition of outstanding running backs here at Mountain Pointe High School? We talk about Christian Clark, Jalen Rushing, a number of guys come through, even in the last couple of years, just outstanding backs.
Yeah, he was looking for the heat without the humidity and found the right spot.
Yes.
No, he's been a great addition to our program. Real good kid, kind of quiet like a lot of our backs have been, but he gets the work done. So, no, he's been a great kid for us.
So how important will the running game be, Coach, tonight to establish a running game, get the time of possession, and just get a flow, get a rhythm going with your offense, with the running game with Bobo, if you can establish that run attack?
Yeah, I'm a PA guy that's getting a little cool out, so we like to run the rock, run the score, throw the win.
PA too, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
so we'll try to establish a run for sure, and that makes teams go away a little quicker, and we're running into the playoffs, so we want to clean up some of our run game stuff. So, yeah, we will try to establish the run for sure.
What will your defense have to do tonight, Coach, to go up against a 2,500-yard passer in Seth Hansen for Desert Vista?
Well, I think about a lot of things can go wrong when the ball's in the air, and that's what we'll be hoping for tonight. But our defense has been our positive side. They've been the leader in the program when it comes to one side of the facet of the game. So we're expecting those seniors and those athletes to get it done tonight.
And how great will it be, of course, to have your home crowd here tonight? You can feed off of that. Your guys can feed off the home crowd and the love that they have for you, because they're already cheering right now. You can hear the love, and this place is going to continue to pack in, and it's only going to get louder.
No, this whole week has been building up to this night. Our administration, our principal, and our student body, man, they love this game. So this is really for them. We just want to get the job done for them. Yeah, thank you, guys.
How much fun did you guys have this morning at the pep rally? You had Brad Perry out here from CW7 Arizona. The band was hyped. The kids were hyped up. Everybody looked like they were having fun.
No, we had a great time. Normally, these guys come in a little sleepy-eyed, but we had an hour and a half of playtime out here, and we just enjoyed it. We really appreciate being picked tonight.
And how great does this for you to see your young men being locked in? They know the magnitude, how big this game is. These guys are laser focused. They know what they have to do. They have to come out in about 11 or 12 minutes or so and go out and just execute and handle business.
Yeah, it's an honor for us. It's exciting. All the facets and things that go into the variables of the game, cleaning up some mistakes that you've made. There's nothing else like it. And I got to remind myself I don't have to do this. I get to. And this is an exciting night, and we're ready to kick it off.
Coach, it's a blessing for all of us to be out here tonight. We appreciate you having us back once again for the Tukey Bowl. Head coach Eric Lauer here of the Mountain Pointe Pride joining us. We'll stay with us here on the pregame show. More to come for the 28th edition of the Ahwatukee Bowl live from Mountain Pointe High School at Carl Kiefer Field.
Veterans Voices, honoring those that have served. The National Park Service estimates more than 25 million people visit the National Mall's war and veteran memorials each year in our nation's capital. This provides opportunities for both educating and honoring our communities on those who have served.
Our mission is teaching the lessons of yesterday to unite the generations of tomorrow.
Veterans Voices, sponsored by TikTok, which is committed to serving and uplifting the veteran community.
If you're the victim of a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, you need to call Jimmy Cook with Cook Law for a free estimate of your case's value.
Insurance companies don't want you to call an attorney because they don't want you to learn how much your case might be worth. That's why we have attorneys standing by to take your call and tell you how much your case may be worth.
The call is free, so call Jimmy Cook right now.
Jimmy Cook, the car crash lawyer you pick. Jimmy Cook, call 255-0606.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, the owner of Precision Air and Plumbing, the #1 ranked AC company in the state. The year is coming to an end, and we need to get rid of some inventory to make room for next year. For a limited time, we are taking $3,500 off any new AC unit. That's right, $3,500 off any new AC unit installed. Make the Precision decision today and call us at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
At Hastings & Hastings, we are the discount accident lawyers. I can't for the life of me understand why anyone would hire lawyers who charge 1/3 or more to handle your accident case. That's too much. Our discount fee puts more money in your pocket. At Hastings & Hastings, we'll fight harder than anyone, and we'll match our 45 years experience to anyone. Hastings & Hastings, more money, more service, more experience. You can sign by phone, on the web, or at any one of our 11 beautiful offices.
What do you think of when you think of Prescott? With all that Prescott has to offer, isn't it great to know that there's one place to go that makes it even more fun? When you think of Prescott, think Buc-ee's Casino. Let's play.
Well, we're back here at Banner Sports Medicine over in Scottsdale. I'm here with Josh Hayes, Director of Sports Medicine at Banner Physical Therapy. There's some topics that we really want to talk about today, but first, just introduce yourself a little bit. What brought you into physical therapy? How'd you end up here?
Sure. So I have been a physical therapist for 22 years now. I originally got into personal training and was working with clients and realized pretty quickly that I didn't exactly know what I was doing. It was more based on, hey, I like going to the gym, I like working with people and so forth. So ended up going back and getting my master's at the time in physical therapy. Later got my doctorate as well.
So with all your experience then, it brings us perfectly into the topic we wanted to get into today. You have the lens of what's gone on in youth sports over the last couple decades, and specifically we're seeing an increase, you were saying, in ACL injuries among female athletes now. So where is this trend coming from? What is it that you're seeing specifically in that?
Yeah, it's interesting. When they've looked at the data, it's about a 2% increase per year since the mid-90s, and there are a couple of things that go into it. I mean, one is the diagnostics. I think that as healthcare providers, we're much more aware of ACL injuries. Additionally, there's some extrinsic factors. So the way sports has evolved over the past 3 decades with increased specialization, earlier activity, like kids are starting now 10, 11, 12 with really intense workouts, going to, strength and conditioning coaches and so forth. And I think that's where it's really important to be with the right strength and conditioning professional.
So I want to dive into, you hit on a couple of things there, maybe we'll take one at a time. So specialization in sports. Is there a certain number of sports, specifically among the girls, where you're seeing the increase in ACL injuries? Is it a soccer or a softball or anything like that, or is it just in general?
No, I think soccer is definitely number one as far as ACL injury risk. But
now in high school, you throw in the wrinkle of a girls' flag football here in Arizona.
Yeah, that's one we haven't seen. Okay. We haven't seen the long-term data on that. But yes, you're exactly right. I think the concern is that particularly if it becomes a sport that we're seeing really high levels of specialization. The good thing is right now is that it seems like you're getting athletes in girls' flag football that also play other things. So it remains to be seen how that's going to have an impact on injury rates. But I think when you're providing the same load again and again and again, there's a wearing down of the muscles that, again, ultimately protect our knees, our shoulders, and so forth. And so we've known for a long time that specialization is not necessarily a good thing. It's just that's a pretty big beast to overcome.
I am a proud mother of a football player, absolutely. It was important to me that he become a well-rounded person, so we tried different sports, and when he did football, he just loved it. It is very mental and cerebral, the game of football. As a mom, any contact sport can be dangerous. You just keep your finger on the pulse of things to make sure that your child is getting a benefit and it doesn't become a detriment. I am Vanita Parker, and I am a football mom.
Watch this. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. The problem will disappear before your eyes with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours. Over 1 million people are using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexiderm. Jump on board and say yes to this amazing $14.95 Plexiderm trial. Order right now. We'll pay your shipping.
This is the biggest call of the night. Former President Donald Trump will be our next president.
Americans made their choice.
This is a moment for patriotic grace for Republicans.
And they found a new home for news. News Nation.
This is independent. Our executives, unlike the other cable networks, do not have any influence.
No one has been close to News Nation because of DDHQ.
News with respect for all Americans. That's News Nation. News for all America.
Alexis and I watch lawyers get out there and say they're going to get you a fast, easy, serious injury settlement. And we're like, what? It'd be like going to your cardiologist and asking for a fast, easy triple bypass. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. Fast and easy settlements actually is less work for the lawyer and less money for the client.
And you know who promises you that? People who don't want to get out there and fight for you when you need them. Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Recognize that guy? One of those desperately hungry personal injury attorneys. You know, the kind that wants more than his fair share of your settlement? Get another attorney.
At Gerber Injury Law, they know you want the most from your settlement. So be careful of the monster law firms that want to eat most of it for themselves.
You can leave now. Shoot.
If you've been injured, call Gerber Injury Law. Get the most for your settlement and keep the monsters away.
It is the 28th edition of the Ahwatukee Bowl, and the Desert Vista Thunder Band taking center stage right now. And Ed, we got to give it up for these performers out here, always doing a great job entertaining the fans and giving them exactly what they came out here to see, the entire football atmosphere, right?
And it just so happens that Miss Sonia Tellez, our illustrious producer, there's her niece right there, playing the cymbals and the xylophone. Look at her. She's just getting busy with the cymbals. What a great job that young lady's doing. But yeah, all these young men and young ladies are just putting so much talent, so much effort into this. As you can see on the field, it's so much pageantry in the Tukey Bowl.
It is, and we've got a lot of information on this storied rivalry, which we'll cover for you here throughout the evening. Got a top 5 Tukey Bowl list provided to us by Mr. Chris Eaton from Gridiron, Arizona. We always appreciate that. A 28-year-old rivalry, and Mountain Pointe leads the all-time series 14-13. And as you mentioned in the pregame, Ed, Mountain Pointe getting the win last year over at Desert Vista by the score of 21-16. But as we always say, you can throw these records out the window, because when it's rivalry time, things go to a different level.
It really does. Your preparation changes because you know they're on your schedule. You've already known this, they've been on your schedule for months, but now the time is finally here, and now it's the 28th edition of the Tukey Bowl. You played this team 27 times before, so now number 28 is just as special as the other 27.
It is indeed. What a great pleasure it was to visit with both head coaches before tonight's ball game. We got to talk with Coach McSpadden the other night on the Desert Gridiron game plan. Unfortunately, Coach Lauer was unavailable as he's been a bit under the weather this week, but I tell you what, jogging over to us for the pregame show tonight, looking like he might want to strap a helmet on this evening here,
yeah,
Ed.
That's what us PA boys do. We strap it up. We know it's the cold weather, but we just buck it up, suck it up, because we know the cold weather is in our DNA, and Coach Lauer just ran over there like he just ran like a 100-yard dash.
You know, it is an absolutely beautiful night. We'll get you the weather here in just a little bit. As a matter of fact, we'll bring that to you right now here. It's a gorgeous night out for football. Temperature sitting right about in the mid to low 60s right now, I would say.
But it feels great out, JP.
It's gorgeous outside, isn't it?
Yes,
absolutely
it is.
Wonderful. But the game on the field tonight should be great. A lot of offensive firepower here behind quarterback Michael Butter Tollefson and Robert Knorr. They use a two-quarterback system here at Mountain Pointe High School. I'm excited to see those guys. And then Seth Hansen for Desert Vista has thrown for over 2,500 yards this season.
Yeah, so much talent on both of these sides. We look at the starting offense for the Mountain Pointe Pride. QB Michael Tollefson, number 0. He's a senior, very senior and junior laden, right? All seniors and juniors. Jamarlin Bobo Otis, we talked about that young man. We had him on Tuesday on the Desert Gridiron game plan. What a great young man, came in from Louisiana. So look for number 23 tonight. He's going to run the ball really well. Nick Valdez, number 28, the halfback. So they're going to employ 2 running backs back in the backfield.
You know what that means when you see that halfback, Ed. We're going to see a lot of power football and probably a lot of I formation out here tonight for the Mountain Pointe Pride, which I love.
Yes, sir. Then you see the 3 wide receivers, R.J. Washington, number 6, the senior. Chase Shoemate, number 2. He's a senior. Tyrone Douglas, number 11. He's a senior. We see the senior story going on. Your offensive line for the Mountain Pointe Pride, Devin Johnson, number 61. He's the right tackle. Number 53, Charles Lott, right guard. Number 74, Tyreek Washington. He's the center. He's a junior. Number 71, Jorge Moreno. He's the left guard. And Aaron Thomas, number 57, rounds out your offensive line for the Mountain Pointe Pride at left tackle.
And you mentioned the amount of upperclassmen here for Coach Eric Lauer and the Pride. That always bodes well for a football team. Guys that have been able to play together for a while, get to know each other. They know each other's moves inside and out on the football field, and they can feed off each other's energy as well.
Yeah, and it comes down to the leadership, especially as Coach Lauer is talking about. They're bucking for a playoff spot, so it really does come down to that junior and senior leadership. How can these guys drive you to another victory, possibly to 6-4 in the playoff berth? We'll find out on Saturday when the brackets and everything shakes out, and we see who's going to play, who's starting next week. But yeah, it's all about taking care of business for the Thunder against the Pride, and of course the Pride against the Thunder in the Tukey Bowl.
Absolutely right. Coach Jake McSpadden in his first season at the helm for Desert Vista. We talked about it, not the start they wanted, but you know, it's a process in putting your stamp on a football program, getting guys to buy into what you're trying to do. All the coaches have to be on the same page, and then you got to get all the players on that same page as well.
Exactly. It doesn't happen overnight, folks. It's going to take some time for these programs to come together. As we see the Pride come on the field, great shot right there as they're getting ready to go. Those uniforms are awesome, aren't they?
They really look good. Mountain Pointe coming out tonight in that great all-black look with the yellow and white stripes up the side, maroon numbers trimmed in yellow, and then the customary maroon helmets, which look really good out here in Ahwatukee tonight. A gorgeous backdrop here. We had a beautiful sunset before we started tonight's pregame show, and this is just a great environment for football, and fans still filling in the building here right now.
Oh yeah, both of these sidelines will be full with fans. It's going to be a great game tonight. There'll be so much energy on the sidelines, in the stands, and also on the football field, folks. You do not want to go away from this on CW7 Arizona. This is going to be a great one.
As the Desert Vista Thunder come onto the field, we'll take a quick commercial timeout and return for the 28th annual edition of the Ahwatukee Bowl here in Phoenix, Arizona. Stay with us. More Thursday Night Kickoff coming your way. Game number 12, if you can believe it, right here on Arizona CW7. Come on back.
What are we gonna do?
Dad, we gotta call Rafi.
Thank you for calling Rafi Law Group. How can I help you?
Rafi Law Group accident attorney.
I'm Brandon Rafi from Rafi Law Group. And Arizona is my home. I grew up in Arizona, I went to school in Arizona, and I love helping fellow Arizonans. So if you've been injured in an accident, call a local attorney. Call Rafi.
Rafi Law Group accident attorney, 623-388-4333.
This Veterans Day, your purchase at Spencer's TV and Appliance isn't just about saving money. It's about making a real difference. In fact, Spencer's is donating 100% of our profits to honoring America's veterans. As always, Spencer's has unbeatable savings on all Whirlpool and Maytag appliances with exclusive rebates and special deals at all 11 Spencer's locations. It's the perfect time to give back and save. Spencer's and honoring America's veterans. It's like having a friend in the business.
You love high school football? Visit Dave & Buster's Tempe before or after the game. Wear your school's colors, and Dave & Buster's will donate 20% of your check to your school's athletic department. For more details, visit DaveandBusters.com. What's the best way to reach your potential customers? CW7 Arizona has the most effective and efficient ways for you to spread your business message. When it's time to get serious about your marketing, contact CW7 Arizona.
We are the Mountain Pointe Pride Spirit Line, and it's time for Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
We welcome you back to Carl Kiefer Stadium here in Phoenix, Arizona, just off of 44th Street and Warner. It is the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl. James Poovey coming to you live here alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. Third member of our broadcast team is down on the field tonight, as always this season, Mr. Parker Garash. And what a great job he's done here this season for us, Ed.
Yeah, it's been great to bring him in. Ever since we had him with the Wranglers, with the Northern Arizona Wranglers, we had him for a few games. And, of course, we thought, who would be a really good sideline reporter to join us on the CW7 Arizona for Thursday night kickoff? And, of course, we went to Parker Garash, our guy.
Absolutely. He's done a great job for us, and we look forward to having him back as well next season, and hopefully on the Wranglers call as well when we kick that thing off on March 29th up in Prescott Valley, Arizona. I'm excited for that as well.
Me too. I cannot wait for the Fisher's Freight to come in from Indianapolis. Yes. We're going to have a great time with the Northern Arizona Wranglers.
We are indeed. The captains are on the field, and they're about ready to make their way to midfield for tonight's coin toss. We're going to start giving you some of these top 5 Tukey Bowl games here, courtesy of Mr. Chris Eaton from Gridiron, Arizona. Number 5 ranked game happened in 2004. It was Mountain Pointe 23 and Desert Vista 21. And Mountain Pointe won the first Tukey Bowl in 97. They snapped a 6-game losing streak in 2004 with a rivalry win, but a very close one. This game made Carl Kiefer the first 300-game winner in Arizona high school football history, and the Thunder had a chance to stretch the streak to 7, but a 40-yard field goal attempt came up short on the game's final play. Jarvis Hodge, older brother of Rashi Hodge, led Mountain Pointe High School that night with 174 yards on 25 carries. The number 5 Tukey Bowl was in 2004. It featured Mountain Pointe and Desert Vista, with Mountain Pointe getting the win 23-21. Let's give you the starting lineup now, or the keys to the game, excuse me, for tonight's contest. And we're excited to be here for an historic rivalry game here in the Grand Canyon State. For the Mountain Pointe Pride, they want to make big plays, and they want to make them early and often, Ed. Another thing they want to do here tonight is feed off of this home crowd. A great turnout here for the Mountain Pointe Pride. The stands nearing capacity, I would say, here. And they want to be creative on offense and defense as well, and they're going to have to against this Desert Vista defense.
Exactly. You just can't sit there and be complacent and run the same plays over and over again, because what's Desert Vista going to do? They're going to find a way to exploit that, because they know you're going to run those same plays over and over again. So really, defensively, they can just scheme and game plan for you in a simple manner. And, of course, the keys to the game for DV, let Isaac Price do his work. This young man is an absolute stud. So you're going to love watching Isaac Price do his work. Also, number 2, dominating the trenches. We talked about it in the pregame. Start off offensively on that offensive line. You've got to get some push. Block for your quarterback, block for your running back. Defensive line, you've got to get pressure on the Mountain Pointe quarterbacks and make it hard for them to get anything done.
It's going to be a fun one out here tonight, and both teams are about ready to roll according to the coaching staffs, and these captains are ready to take midfield as well for our coin toss. Let's get the AIA officiating crew here for you. Tonight's referee is Mr. Steve Castillo. Our umpire tonight is Jalen Lester. Our head linesman, Mike O'Connor. Our side judge tonight is Mr. Jeff Barker. Our back judge is Patrick Thompson. Our line judge is Dallas Farrell. The field judge is Travis Keedy tonight, and that rounds out our AIA officiating crew, led by Mr. Brian Gessner, the Director of Officials for the Arizona Interscholastic Association.
And JP, you see all the dignitaries. You see so many cameras out there and just media people covering this game, because, again, they know how big this game is. So many talented young men on this football field. We see the captains for both of the football teams giving some love, giving some dap as they get ready to do the coin toss. The ever important coin toss. We'll see who gets the first possession, who wins, who may possibly defer, depending on if they win. all the cameras and everything. They know how big this game is. Desert Vista and Mountain Pointe. Again, the 28th edition of the Tukey Bowl, one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports, especially in Arizona. 14-13. Mountain Pointe leads this series, so they're looking to go up 15-13. And, of course, DV would love to get a victory, end their season on a high note. After being 1-8, they'd love to end it 2-8 and spoil the ending of the season for Mountain Pointe. But we'll just have to see as we see the coin toss. It's up in the air. Get a zoom there. Good job, Jamal. So Desert Vista won the coin toss and they accepted. They elected to receive. So MP will get a chance to look at that offense, JP. They'll get a chance to look at Seth Hansen and Isaac Price, Kevin Jackson, and crew. That's a great offense right there.
Yeah, it's going to be high power here tonight, and we can expect a lot of points. But on the other hand, this ball game could possibly go the other way, Ed, and it could end up as a defensive struggle out here on the field tonight. We will have to see how things go.
It could. And we talked about Isaac Price and the numbers he's put up so far for DV. 57 catches, over 1,000 yards, 1028 to be exact, 8 touchdowns. And QB1 having a great season so far for DV. Just getting things done. Seth Hansen, he has 2,558 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions for the 6-foot, 155-pound junior. He's going to have to up those numbers tonight. Have another great night for DV if they expect to come out victorious against the Mountain Pointe Pride, because the Pride are going to come after him defensively. They know the scheme is to get to number 13, get the QB1, and force the issue on him and make things uncomfortable for Seth Hansen. But if things do get kind of hairy for DV, they can always go to that running attack with Kevin Jackson, class of 2026. Also him.
We're about ready to roll here. 3 deep wide receivers for the Desert Vista Thunder. The kick is into the end zone for the touchback. And so Desert Vista is going to start things off from their own 20-yard line. Starting lineup tonight for the Desert Vista Thunder. Quarterback Seth Hansen will get the start at quarterback. He's a junior. Running back tonight is Kevin Jackson, number 29, also a junior. Isaac Price we had on the show the other night, Tuesday on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. You can check on the Epic Sports Network on YouTube and watch that show. Enjoyed visiting with that young man. He starts tonight at wide receiver. Aeneas Redmond and Cale Moore, along with DJ Williams, wound out the wide receiving core here tonight for Desert Vista. At right tackle, Cole Graber. And we'll get to the rest of that offensive line here in just a minute. First down and 10 now for Desert Vista. Play fake. Hansen goes to the air. It's caught. Oh, dropped near the 30-yard line. The intended target was number 15, Isaac Price. He's 5'11", 170 pounds, and a big target out there for Hansen.
He is, but a little bit of pressure off that edge from Mountain Pointe forced Seth Hansen to get rid of the football because the pressure was coming on his right side, so he had to get rid of the football quickly or else take the sack.
A swing pass out into the flat. And the Mountain Pointe defense right there on the stop. Number 29, Kevin Jackson got the ball, but he might have gotten a yard and a half maybe on the play. Third down upcoming here now for Desert Vista.
You see DV kind of with speeding up the process of getting their plays called in. They want to kind of run the issue. They want to kind of force the issue, force the tone, force the speed of the football game on offense.
5 wide receivers now for Desert Vista on 3rd down and 8. Hansen back to pass, goes to the air. It falls incomplete. Once again, he was trying to connect with Isaac Price over there. And great coverage there provided by Mountain Pointe and that defensive backfield.
Yeah, Price was covered really well by the defensive back. They just got, it was a one-on-one with the wide receiver and the defensive back. Defensive back stayed with Isaac Price, as tough as that is to do against one of the top wide receivers in the state of Arizona, if not the country. But the defensive back, the defensive secondary did a great job of bottling up number 15, forcing a punt. Great job by Mountain Pointe on defense, forcing a 3-and-out, JP.
Number 4, Rylan Batman Dillard Allen back deep to receive for the Mountain Pointe Pride, along with Marion Overstreet. The ball takes a Desert Vista bounce across the 50. It'll trickle across the 40, and it'll be down at the 39-yard line. So that's where the Desert Vista Thunder will start on their first offensive possession of this evening. Starters for the Mountain Pointe Pride. At quarterback, Michael Butter Tollefson, the senior. Running back is Jamarlin Bobo Otis. Nick Valdez is the halfback. Wide receiver R.J. Washington, Chase Shoemate, and Tyrone Douglas. The offensive line consists of Devin Johnson, Charles Lott, Tyreek Washington, Jorge Moreno, and Aaron Thomas.
We'll see if Mountain Pointe employs that two-quarterback issue with Butter Tollefson, also Robert Knorr. We'll see if these guys will shuffle in and out and just relieve each other when it's necessary.
Handoff across the 40-yard line. Second down upcoming now for Mountain Pointe. After a 2-yard gain, it'll be second down and 8. Play fake. Tollefson rolls out to his right. Caught in the flat across the 45-yard line. Running into plus territory. And a great gain on the play there for the Mountain Pointe Pride.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of
JP, that was number 28, Nick Valdez, the 5'8", 212-pound junior. Great job of him running out there in the flat, letting the quarterback get him the completion. He was open, got up the yards, got up the field, got the first down at the 46.
Handoff, and the Desert Vista defense right there on the attack.
Try to run it straight up that A-gap. Nothing doing with the running attack. Great job by the DV defense, bottling up and just closing up that area, not allowing your running back to get any yards on that one. That was Andrew Jones, number 22, the 6'3", 205-pound senior, trying to get a run straight up that gap. But again, great job by DV closing up that area, throwing bodies in there, not allowing your running back to get any yards straight up that A-gap.
3 receivers to the near side now for Tollefson. High snap, second down and 9. Swing pass caught out in the flat by Chase Shoemate. Ball comes loose, and the Desert Vista Thunder have recovered the football. So a fumble by Chase Shoemate, and Braylon Edwards on the recovery there for Desert Vista. And just like that, the tables have turned here early in this 28th Tukey Bowl.
Absolutely the thing you do not want to do if you're Mountain Pointe. Get a great run there, great swing pass, and Chase Shoemate just turns the football over out there in open field. And now Desert Vista gets the football back. Oh my gosh, that's a killer for the Mountain Pointe Pride to turn the football over on a great drive. On your first drive, you were moving the football, but you turn the football over, and now that drive means nothing.
Desert Vista breaks the huddle now. 3 by 1 on the outside here for Hanson. They hand it off, coming near side. This is Kevin Jackson. Jackson gets a few positive yards. He'll gain 4 yards on the play, bringing up second down and 6 here for the Desert Vista Thunder. And as we talked about the pregame, Ed, anything can happen in these rivalry games.
Yes, it can. We talked about the importance of holding on to the football, not being careless, and turning the football over, because every possession is critical in a rivalry like this.
Once again, 3 by 1 on the outside now for Seth Hanson. Second down and 6. Jackson gets the call, and right there to wrap up is the Mountain Pointe defensive line. And I tell you what, a number of attackers there, including big number 9, Caleb Jones, 6'1", 275 pounds. We had him on the schedule release show earlier in the summer.
Yes.
And this young man is a menace.
Yes, he is. 6'1", 275, you mentioned. Defensive lineman, offensive lineman, also a fullback, one of those ATHs we talk about. But at that defensive line spot, great job by Caleb Jones, swarming and swallowing up the running back for a stop.
Handoff, Desert Vista's number 6, Cale Moore, gets the call. Moore stands at 5'9", 150 pounds, plowing ahead, and that'll be good for a Desert Vista Thunder first down. DV coming out tonight in their all-white look. 2-by-1 on the outside now. They'll go to work out of the pistol. Jackson gets the call. He's swallowed up once again there by Caleb Jones. Also in on the stop, George Longoria, the 6'3", 220-pound senior defensive end in there with Caleb Jones on the stop.
Great job by the Mountain Pointe defense getting pressure, double teaming the running back. That's a great job. They get off their blocks off the offensive line and get right to the running back. Great job. Again, getting back there and forcing the issue, bringing the running back down, not letting him get a single yard out of that.
2-by-2 on the outside now. Swing pass caught by Jackson, then he is hit immediately by the Mountain Pointe run support.
Yeah, that was number 27, JP, Brandon Rodriguez, the linebacker, 5'9", 185-pound senior. But it was tough because he had to bobble the football. Kevin Jackson did before he caught the football. But if he secured it, he still would have gotten it popped because Rodriguez was right there. Great job by him being Johnny on the spot, reading where the running back / wide receiver was going, and he just made a pop, made a stick right there.
Empty backfield now for Hansen on 3rd down and long. Throws it out. It's incomplete. They say he was out of bounds. The ball looked to be caught, but the defensive back for Mountain Pointe, Chase Shoemate, unable to get those feet down in bounds.
Yeah, Seth Hansen was looking for the wide receiver, number 3, Aeneas Redmond, but he wasn't able to. Throw it a little bit too far. It looked like it could have possibly been an interception, but still, they forced a turnover. As far as a punt goes for DV, they weren't able to get anything out of that. So Mountain Pointe survives that turnover on the fumble. So they live to see another play. They didn't get anything. Desert Vista was not able to. So now they're in punting situation. The punter, Jonas Snow, class of 2026. He lines up for the punt. Not that good of a punt for DV, JP.
Punt rolls out of bounds. And it'll be Mountain Pointe Pride football. Desert Vista, you thought had a chance there. You were hoping that they could take advantage of that turnover and that miscue by Mountain Pointe, but the Pride able to get the football back. And we'll resume play here. 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in our first quarter. We apologize for technical difficulties, but we'll get that score bug up for you here as quickly as possible. We want to remind you that tonight's broadcast is being brought to you in part by Thomas Law, an injury law firm making law personal. 2-by-1 on the outside for Tollefson. He hands it off.
1st and 10. Let's go Pride. Drive the ball down the field. 1st and 10. Let's.
And into the teeth of the defense goes number 23, Jamarlin Bobo Otis. What a pleasure it was visiting with that young man from Cajun country on Tuesday night on the Desert Gridiron game plan.
What a great young man. 5'7", 185-pound senior, transfer from Louisiana. He said one of the biggest things he had to get adjusted to, JP, is the size of these defensive linemen compared to how they are in Louisiana.
They hand it off, plunging ahead, going off right tackle once again. That is Otis. And he'll pick up more positive yards. He'll gain 3 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 here for the Mountain Pointe Pride. They are into Desert Vista territory at the 44-yard line.
And I would say another key to victory for both of these football teams is converting on 3rd downs. When you get 3rd and 5, any kind of 3rd and yardage situations, you've got to be able to convert and keep drives moving. So let's see if the Pride can convert right here. Get the handoff to the running back. He takes it on the left side. Great run right there, following his blockers. Very nice run. He stays upright, goes right down that rail. Outstanding run there on 3rd and 5 for RB. Great run there by Chase Shoemate, the ATH. Nice run there on 3rd and 5. They convert. They're way down there deep in Desert Vista territory. Down there in Thunder territory. Let's see if they can convert based off that long run by Chase Shoemate. Butter gets the high snap, hands it off to his running back, takes it straight up the middle. Not much there before the defensive linemen swarm him. They get Bobo Otis on that tackle. .535 and counting, folks. Thunder trying to hold off the Mountain Pointe Pride. The Pride are threatening to score right here. Butter Towson lines his offense up. Back in the pistol formation. Bobo Otis right behind him. He takes the snap, Hands off to his running back, takes it straight up the middle. Nothing doing right there. Great job by the Thunder defense. Number 55, number 50. They all converge on Bobo Otis and bring him down. Number 55 is Xavier Cullum. Number 50 is Afisong Okon. I hope I said his name wrong. Afisong Okon. I hope I said his name right. Defensive lineman. He's a senior. Cullum is also a senior. 6'2", 290. Okon is 6'3", 310. So that lets you know how tough it is straight up the middle for Bobo Otis to try to run against those big guys. Butter gets the snap. Pitch off to Bobo Otis. He gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Pride get on the board first with a nice drive, ending with a touchdown run by Jamarlin Bobo Otis. The young man, a transfer from Louisiana, comes in and pays immediate dividends for the Mountain Pointe Pride. They get a score, a nice drive there. As we're about 4:22 left in the first quarter. Outstanding drive there for Mountain Pointe. They get on the board. They get 6 based off their running attack. The extra point is up, and it is good. The Pride take a 7-0 lead over the Desert Vista Thunder. We always preach on this broadcast, JP, about the importance of a strong running attack. Offensive line playing really well for Mountain Pointe, letting Bobo Otis do his thing. Again, 5'7", 185-pound senior. He just follows his blockers. He got the pitch from Butter for the touchdown run. Used his speed to get to the outside, get around the defenders. Uses his speed and elusivity to get to the touchdown. 7-0 Pride over the Thunder in the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl out here at Mountain Pointe High School. Beautiful night here, folks. Crowds starting to fill in. The cheerleaders are on the sidelines, getting everybody hyped up. And they should be hyped up as their football team goes up 7-0. Let's see what Coach Jake McSpadden has lined up for the Desert Vista Thunder as they try to respond to that scoring drive by Mountain Pointe. Mountain Pointe coming to the game 5-4, 1-2 in the 6A Central, 0-3, 6A Central for Desert Vista. They're looking for their first victory in the the 6A Central. They'd love to end the season at 1-3 and 2-8 and knock Mountain Pointe down to 5-5. But again, folks, we got 3 quarters plus of football to go, so a lot of things are going to happen in this Tukey Bowl. It's been that kind of a rivalry. 14-13, Mountain Pointe leads the series, and we've got a great game coming ahead of you. Mountain Pointe gets the kickoff. Desert Vista will take it. As Seth Hansen and his offense, he'll trot back out on the field and see if they can get anything done. As we'll toss down to Parker Garash on the sidelines. Parker, what did you see in that drive? Take us through what you saw on the sidelines on a great drive that Mountain Pointe was able to move the football down the field, and they ran it in courtesy of Bobo Otis.
Yeah, guys, I mean, it's extremely impressive get-back drive from Mountain Pointe there with the fumble that happened to one of their wide receivers. Their leading running back, Jamarlin Otis, that's his 9th touchdown on the season. Got a handful of offers from some schools in the Southwest and Midwest of the country, like Sam Houston, for instance. Extremely powerful running back there, and now that's why they're up in this rivalry game. I'm going to send it back to you guys with the rest of the call for this first quarter.
Vista, now I'm not even up. He's still... First down and 10 for Desert Vista. They get a nice drive on that play right there. Out to the 29-yard line it goes for the Desert Vista Thunder. Little hurry up now on 2nd down and short. Swing pass into the flat. This one's caught by Isaac Price. And Price is ridden down over there on the far side by Jacob Carter, the senior 5'11", 180-pound defensive back. Yeah, Carter did exactly what he was supposed to do. Took out the legs of Isaac Price. If you take those legs out of that young man, you got to take his legs out. It's a 1,000-yard receiver, JP. You got to be able to find a way to take him out. Take his legs out. He can't go anywhere. Nice job by Jacob Carter. That's textbook tackling for a decent defensive back. 7-0 Pride with under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Over the middle, it's caught. Ball comes loose, but recovered immediately there by Cale Moore. What an outstanding reception, and then a great job having the wherewithal to recover the fumble there right about the 41-yard line. There were 2 Mountain Pointe Pride right in the area, and he was lucky he was able to come up with that one, Ed. Yeah, Cale was definitely lucky he was going to get there. Otherwise, they would have turned the ball over for the 2nd time.
Stay away from this mic.
Running through the defense there, Seth Hansen.
was a good job by Seth Hansen seeing the pressure, and he's able to scoot out to the left, get some yards right there, gets him a first down at the 42-yard line. Nice job by number 13 to sense the pressure, pop out to his left, get away from that pressure, and get a first down and get those chains moving again. Hansen takes the snap, fakes the handoff, connects with number 3, Marion Gillespie, the 5'5", 135-pound senior. No, excuse me, that's Aeneas Redmond. Looking at the wrong schedule. Looking at the wrong roster, folks. Aeneas Redmond, a 6 foot, 180-pound senior. He connects up with his QB1, Seth Hansen. Gain of a couple on that play for Desert Vista.
Level is low. Aircraft will return to the home point in 10 seconds.
And they call a hold on Desert Vista, so that play will be wiped out. That'll be a 10-yard penalty. That'll back up Desert Vista 10 more yards.
So Vista backed up now to their own 42-yard line. First down and 20 right here for the Thunder. Looks like we finally got our score bug up and running here. After an interesting first quarter, the ball's intercepted at the 45-yard line. How about that? Rylan Dillard, Batman Allen, they call him. And he was lurking over there. And I tell you what, that young man no doubt has some wings. If he'd have caught that thing on the run, he might still be flying.
Oh, yeah. If he had connected with Isaac Price, he would still be going, and we'd be calling a touchdown right now. But as you mentioned, fantastic job by Rylan Dillard. Batman Allen, you call him? That's his
nickname is Batman. Yes, sir.
Okay, Batman. I see you. I see you. The senior, great job. Yeah, with the interception and second turnover so far in as many drives as for Desert Vista. That's a trend that they do not want to have continue on in this football game. They get drives, they move the football, then they turn the football over. You cannot do that against the Mountain Pointe Pride and expect to come out victorious.
Mountain Pointe with a 7-point lead, 2:23 remaining here in our first quarter. We're so glad you joined us tonight. We'll step aside, take a brief commercial timeout, and return for more of the 28th Annual Ahwatukee Bowl right after the break. Stay with us.
Thursday Night Kickoff is sponsored in part by Thomas Law Group.
Big rigs can cause big injuries. Get big help. Get Lerner and Rowe.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt. The all-time favorite. With 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2. And 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt, just like you like it.
Car wreck, check. Motorcycle wreck, check. Truck wreck, check. Bicycle wreck, check. UFO wreck, what? In a wreck, you need a check. Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
We welcome you back to Carl Kiefer Stadium here in Phoenix. The Tukey Bowl on the air, 7-0 Pride. 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining here in our first quarter. Mountain Pointe with the football. Butter Tollefson back to throw. He's under pressure. He'll climb the pocket. Stays on his feet somehow. And my goodness, Michael Tollefson somehow makes his way into plus territory and picks up 6 yards there when you thought there was nothing there available.
JP, nowadays in football, you've got to have a quarterback that's mobile like that. You see Butter, he's got to get away from this pressure because these defensive linemen nowadays, they can get off the blocks and they can come right after you. They're so athletic, so your quarterback needs to be just as athletic, if not more athletic than these guys that are coming after him at full speed.
There you see him slipping through that defense like Butter. I tell you what, that's why they call him Butter Tollefson, 2-by-1 on the outside now. Handoff. Ooh. And he is slippery once again, just making his way through traffic, getting skinny there at the 45-yard line. And Michael Tollefson with a nice gain and another Mountain Pointe Pride first down. CW Sports Saturday, college football back on the air. CW7 is your home for college football this Saturday. It's a football frenzy of games, and it all kicks off with an ACC matchup between Syracuse and Boston College. Then we're off to the West Coast for San Jose State and Oregon State. And the nightcap features the Utah State Aggies and the Washington State Cougars. So get comfy and lock yourself in for CW7 college football coming up this Saturday. It all starts at 10. Back to pass, Tollefson, swing pass, caught in the flat. Across the 30-yard line, R.J. Washington on the reception. Camden Nolan able to force him out of bounds, but not before another chain-moving first down there for Mountain Point.
Yeah, Butter looks R.J. Washington's way the entire time. R.J. open, great job, great completion. And R.J. just takes up the field before two defenders comes after him. First down and 10 on the 40 for Mountain Point.
A number of Arizona High School football dignitaries in the house tonight. I've seen the Dean of Arizona High School Sports, Mr. Kevin McCabe, down there. Along with Zach Alvira also here, representing the Ahwatukee Foothills News. And Zach will be coming your way on Saturday morning as we have the bracket show for AZ Preps 365. That'll be on the air, I believe, at 9 a.m. Or no, they're on the air at 8 a.m. on Saturdays. And they will feature the bracket show. And I'm excited to see how everything shakes out, Ed, once these final week of games are played.
Exactly. That's going to be exciting to see who gets in and, unfortunately, who does not make it. There's going to be, of course, a lot of bubble teams that will be disappointed because they didn't make the bracket. But, you know, that's the way it is. That's the way the computers kind of spit these things out and they figure out these brackets, JP.
It is all about that algorithm, my friend, as we have, it looks like a false start. 5-yard penalty assessed to Mountain Point. With 5 seconds remaining here in our first quarter.
I believe they called number 57, Aaron Thomas, the offensive tackle on that infraction. So it's 2nd and 12 on the 30 as we 2, 1, and we're at the end of the first quarter, James.
They'll wind the clock, and that horn will signify the end of our first quarter. We've played 12 minutes of football here from Carl Kiefer Stadium in Phoenix. Stay with us. Second quarter action coming up in the 28th edition of the Ahwatukee Bowl. After the break, you're watching Thursday Night Kickoff right here on Arizona CW7.
You know, in the time it took me to get this coffee, there was most likely a serious car accident here in the Valley. I'm attorney Fred Thomas. I grew up in the Valley. I've been helping injured people in the Valley for almost 20 years.
If you're injured, contact an attorney that, like you, calls the Valley home. And, like with so many others, will get you the compensation for your pain.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, call me, and I'll get you the compensation you deserve.
If you're injured, call Thomas Law.
At Hastings & Hastings, we have 11 offices open and ready to serve you. But you don't need to come in. If you prefer, you can sign by phone or online. We make your case our top priority. Call now, even if it's the weekend, we're open 24/7. And don't forget, at Hastings & Hastings, when your case settles, our discount fee puts more money in your pocket. Expect more, get more. That's Hastings & Hastings.
The Scorpions, we welcome you back here on Mountain Point High School's Carl Kiefer Field. First down and 10 now for the Mountain Point Pride. They will hand it off. Up the gut they go. Power football there by Mountain Point. And an outstanding push by that offensive line up front, picking up about 4 yards on the play. Let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Mr. Parker Garash. Take it away, Park.
What's up, guys? Yeah, this Mountain Point team has been on all cylinders so far throughout that first quarter. They have a handful of Division I players, 4 players that are committed, including their quarterback, Tollefson, who you've seen he's going to ASU. Rylan Dillard Allen, who had the interception, going to Washington. Caleb Jones to Arizona. And then Chase Shumat to SDSU. They got a handful of other players that are got lots of offers. So this team is going to be a very dangerous team when it comes to the 6A playoff race if they can get the win tonight. That's all from me down here on the sideline. Back to you guys in the booth to cover the rest of the first half.
Nice throw there by Michael Butter Tollefson, almost connecting in the corner of the end zone with the wide receiver, unfortunately out of bounds. But you got to hand it to this Desert Vista defensive front, Ed. They are putting the pressure on Tollefson.
Yeah, they are making Butter move out and move like Butter. But he was trying to connect with R.J. Washington back in the back corner of the end zone. Wasn't able to do that. As you mentioned, DV forces a field goal situation for Mountain Pointe. So they dodged a bullet right there again with the scoring opportunity.
This will be a 42-yard attempt. It's up and no good. With 11 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in our second quarter, it'll be Desert Vista football, the Pride leading 7-0 here in the 28th edition of the Tukey Bowl. Following the game tonight, we remind you to stick around for CW7 Prime and their all-new game night. Featuring Scrabble and Trivial Pursuit. It's entertaining, challenging, and as we always like to say here on Arizona CW7, it's all good. We also remind you that tonight's coverage is being brought to you by Next Care Urgent Care, proud supporters of Thursday Night Kickoff here on CW7. 2-by-2 on the outside, swing pass. Hansen completes the ball to Aeneas Redmond, and then right there on the stop for Mountain Pointe.
That was Batman.
Batman flying in right there at the 15-yard line and knocking that ball loose there at the end of the play, Ed.
Yeah, outstanding.
This young man is outstanding.
Yeah, great coverage there by Ryland Dillard. Batman Allen.
That's it.
It's Batman right there.
3-by-1 on the outside now for Hansen. He drops back. Looks to throw. Pressure comes. Climbs the pocket. He'll tuck it and run. Driven out of bounds on the near sideline. Right at the 13, they'll call him down. Pressure applied there by Mountain Pointe's number 65, which will bring up a third down here. That was Taiwan Huckabee, 6'1", 235 pounds, and he's got a little bit of agility there, hunting down that quarterback.
Yes, sir, he does.
Two receivers to each side now for Seth Hansen on 3rd down and 13. Jackson in the backfield. He looks downfield. Hansen climbs the pocket, goes to the air. The ball falls incomplete. A chance for an interception there by Riddick Jurdy. And the sophomore out there ball hawking. He's got that ATH head. You could see the athletic ability on display that time for Mountain Pointe.
Yeah, fantastic job by that secondary to hold off Aeneas Redmond. Hansen was trying to hit Aeneas Redmond on the run. But you got to give the props to Mountain Pointe. You've got to come after a 2,600-yard pass. You've got to put pressure on him because he's got 2,600 yards for a reason, because he's that good. He's got 23 touchdowns. So you've got to force the issue on Seth Hansen, and that's exactly what that Pride defense did.
Jonas Snow on now to punt it away here for Desert Vista. Batman Allen back deep to receive. Ball lands at the 45. It'll take a Desert Vista bounce deep into plus territory, finally coming to a rest at the 41-yard line. And so that's where Mountain Pointe will go back on offense here with 9 minutes and 43 seconds remaining here in our first half. The 4th place for the top 5 Tukey Bowls goes to the 2003 matchup where the Desert Vista Thunder got the win over Mountain Pointe 34-30. The Thunder overcame an early 14-0 deficit and won the game on their final drive. That possession went 80 yards and ended with a touchdown pass from Jordan Stewart to Mike Tamez with 1 minute remaining in the game. It was an upset as DV entered at 2-3, and Mountain Pointe was 4-0 that night. Once again, thanks to Mr. Chris Eaton for that history of this storied rivalry football game here. Follow Chris at Gridiron Arizona for all your Arizona high school football news and notes.
He is the guy to know.
He is that guy.
Yes, he is.
You can also catch him on Tuesday nights throughout the regular season on Just Chili's 2-piece. And speaking of Just Chili, we're going to have him up here in the booth for our halftime show. So stay with us for that. We'll get his thoughts on half number 1 here in the 28th annual Tukey Bowl. 2-by-2 on the outside now for Michael Tollefson. Butter drops back. He swings it out in the flat, caught there by Shoemate. And Chase Shoemate runs out across the 50-yard line. And we take a look at the Burrito Express replay. Shoemate has had a number of nice plays here so far in this ball game for the Pride.
He has great job by getting away from Camden Nolan. He caught the pass on the outside near the rail. He cut back immediately because he used his cutback ability to cut back in toward the middle of the field and get some more yards. So great job, great decision making for the wide receiver to cut back in, getting away from the defensive back and getting more yards.
Lucas Scheremeyer on the stop. Tollefson now on the scamper through the traffic. Weaves his way down near the 40-yard line. Brought down at the 41. And Tollefson is no doubt a slippery fellow there as he goes through the defensive traffic. No wonder they call him Senor Mantequilla.
Yeah, don't you love the blocking, though, up front with the offensive line? You saw Bobo Otis also out there blocking, acting as a sixth offensive lineman. Even though he's smaller than the rest of the offensive linemen, he's still not afraid to throw his body out there when needed to let his quarterback get some more yards.
I absolutely enjoyed visiting with that young man the other night. Yeah. So much fun. And you could tell he really loves this game of football.
He's got a great personality, great attitude for
Trips
football.
left now, a little movement up front there, but not far enough to necessitate a penalty flag. And now we have a timeout on the field called by the Mountain Pointe Pride.
Folks, the NASCAR Xfinity Championship rolls into Phoenix, live from Phoenix Raceway, PIR. CW7 Arizona brings you every lap, every turn of NASCAR's Xfinity top drivers to see who will be the champion. Coverage begins on Saturday at 5 on CW7, your home for NASCAR.
7-0, the Mountain Pointe Pride leading the Desert Vista Thunder. And we are so glad you joined us here tonight on CW7 Arizona. Believe it or not, it is our final regular season game here on the network, and we couldn't be happier to be bringing it to you here.
Yeah, JP, can you imagine? It's been 12 weeks already.
Oh, man.
We've done 12 straight Thursday night games. Isn't that crazy?
No bye weeks here on this broadcast, my friend.
Nope.
No weeks off for this crew.
And it extends next week with some more playoff
It
football.
sure does indeed.
Well, tomorrow night and then for the next 2 weeks.
We're going to get you our Student Athlete of the Week now, presented by Thomas Law. And we would like to recognize from Desert Vista High School, young man we talked to the other night, Mr. Isaac Price, wide receiver. He's a senior this year, plays both football and track for Desert Vista, all while maintaining a 3.7 GPA. A member of the National Honor Society, also has plans to continue playing football in college. Congratulations to Isaac Price, our Thomas Law Student Athlete of the Week. And that young man getting it done, not only on the field, but in the classroom.
I love to see that, JP. I love to see these guys out here, these young men excelling on the football field. Also, when they get in the classrooms, they get into those books. 3.7 National Honor Society recipient. What a great job. So many athletes with so many achievements. And Isaac is one of those guys who falls in there. He's going to get a scholarship for sure. This kid is that good. He's an outstanding athlete and a great young man to talk to. We had so much fun talking to him the other night.
No doubt we did. College coaches, get him while you can. Oh. No doubt he's going to make a difference on your football team. Reach out to Coach Jake McSpadden and get that young man in there for an official visit, right?
Right.
Mountain Pointe, after the penalty, will have the ball at the Desert Vista 17-yard line. 2-by-1 on the outside. Otis with the carry. Turns the legs, and then right away he is stuffed. At the line of scrimmage, a host of defenders on the tackle there for Desert Vista, led by number 1, Andrew Hoyt. 5'10", 205 pounds. Nice job keeping the shoulder square right there and waiting for Otis to approach and making the stop.
Yeah, also Dominic Barreras was also in there. Also number 55, Xavier Cullum was in there. So it's always 2 or 3 guys you've got to throw at these running backs. But great job by the defense for Desert Vista to flood that area where Bobo Otis is trying to go, because you've got to. If it's one-on-one, Bobo is so good. He's so slick and elusive, he can get away from you.
Play fake. Tollefson rolls out. Caught in the flat. Room to run. Forced out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And an outstanding gain there that time by Mountain Pointe's Nick Valadez. 5'11", 212 pounds. And I thought for a moment he might have gotten himself in the end zone there, Ed. Might have had 1 foot out of bounds on the near side.
Yeah, that was really close. But yeah, excellent job by Valadez getting out to the outside And Butter seeing him, hitting him out in the flat with an accurate pass. I love it. Butter and Bobo, so many great adjectives.
I love it. A lot of nicknames on this team right here.
And Batman too, yeah.
As you see Tollefson carry it inside the 5. Brought down on the play there by Desert Vista's defensive line. And that play led there by Ethan Taylor, the 6'3" sophomore, knifing in there and making the stop on Butter Tollefson.
Yeah, also, again, number 74, Dominic Barreras in there. So the defensive line for Desert Vista being very bullish so far against Butter and Bobo Otis, and the offense for Mountain Pointe. They just got to keep continuing to get that pressure on Mountain Pointe if they expect to get a stop here and not go down 13-0.
Handoff coming near side. Weaving through the traffic at the 5-yard line and burrows his way down somehow to the 2. That is once again Jamarlin Bobo Otis. And it'll bring up this should be a 3rd down and goal here now for the Pride.
Yeah, big third and goal right here as Butter gets his last second instructions from his coaching staff. Now he's going to relay it to his guys. Get his guys lined up. He's got Bobo Otis also back there as well. As we're 5:07 and counting. Desert Vista in need of a big stop right here on defense.
They hand it off into the end zone and in there for the touchdown. Jamarlin Bobo Otis plunges over the goal line and adds 6 points now for the Mountain Pointe Pride.
Offensive line with that great push, that great movement to move that defensive line, letting Bobo Otis go straight up the middle. You saw number 71, Jorge Moreno, the offensive lineman, at that center spot. He pushed his defensive lineman away to the left, and that let Bobo Otis be wide open. So much space up in the middle for 23 to run through.
An absolute huge hole up front that time for Mountain Pointe. The kick is up and good. And with 4 minutes and 56 seconds remaining here in our second quarter, the Mountain Pointe Pride leading the Desert Vista Thunder by the score of 14-0. Great looking overhead shot. Let's take a quick timeout and return for more second quarter action. You're watching the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl right here on CW7 Arizona. We'll be back to Carl Kiefer Stadium right after the break.
It's the best way to reach your potential customers. Contact CW7 Arizona today.
If this is your wreck, you need a check. If this is your wreck, you definitely need a check. Hurt in a wreck, you need a check? We're Lerner and Rowe. Make one call, that's all.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Have you had the craving for the best burrito anywhere? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Come on in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Burrito Express.
With 7 Valley locations and a new South Chandler location opening soon, your new favorite burrito is just right around the corner. Burrito Express, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
In a wreck, need a check.
In a wreck?
Need a check.
In a wreck? Need a check. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? We're Lerner and Rowe. Make one call, that's all.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Bobo Otis told us this week he's going to have a big game, and doggone it if he's not. 2 touchdown runs for him so far. 1 in the first quarter, 1 in the second quarter just a few minutes ago. Puts the Pride up 14-0 over Desert Vista with 4:57 to go for the half. Back to the voice of Thursday Night Kickoff, Mr. James Poovey.
Now, if you're Desert Vista, it's not out of hand yet, but you definitely don't want to let things get any further along for Mountain Pointe and their offense. Bobo Otis, 2 touchdowns here in this first half, and he's had himself a game. I think it's that luck that he's carried over from being on the Desert Gridiron game plan on Tuesday night.
I think so, but for what it is for Coach McSpadden and Desert Vista, as you mentioned, they're only down 2 scores, but what's alarming is the 2 turnovers in the first and second quarter. That's a no-no. You cannot do that if you're Desert Vista, and again, expect to win the football game because you're giving the football away. your drives are dying because you're turning the football over. You've got to be able to hold on to the football if you're Seth Hansen.
Looking for more high school coverage? Then head on over to CW7AZ.com, or you can just scan that QR code on your screen right now, and you'll find links for the Friday Night Red Zone, our exclusive coaches show, the pep rally held right here at Mountain Pointe High School this morning, upcoming schedules, and more. It's all there. We've got you covered for your home for high school sports here in the state of Arizona. CW7 unmatched. 4:56 remaining here in our first half. They'll hand it off. Jackson with a carry. A slight bit of extracurricular there after the play, but not enough to warrant a penalty flag. Jacob Carter among other black jerseys on the stop there for Mountain Pointe.
Physical play by that Mountain Pointe defense, getting right to the running back and bringing him down. They've got to get more physical play out of that, guys. That's what you need to do to get to Seth Hansen in that running game.
Hansen rolls to his right. It's caught. Still on the run. A nice gain there on the play. Desert Vista on the scamper. That was DJ Williams, the senior wide receiver, catching the ball out there in the flat and then using his blockers to evade that Mountain Pointe Pride defense and pick up a Desert Vista first down. Handoff on the play. Nowhere to run with the football. And that was number 29 for Desert Vista, Kevin Jackson, 5'7" junior. No gain on the play, brings up second down and 10 here for the Thunder. .345 and counting. Hansen comes near side. The ball falls incomplete. Receiver got turned around there. He was trying to connect with Kale Moore, and we have a penalty flag on the play.
I wonder if they're going to get roughing the passer on that, JP. Seth Hansen took a shot right there after he... Yep. Yep.
That is a, no doubt, personal foul. 15 free yards there for Desert Vista, and now, Ed, it's a matter of can they take advantage?
Yeah, they have to take advantage. And for Mountain Pointe, that's another no-no. You can't hit the quarterback, obviously, after he gets rid of the football. Oh, my gosh, you've got to keep your focus and your discipline when you're up 14-0. You can't give Seth Hansen a shot like that.
A fine line you walk there as a defender. That ball squirts out of the hands of number 23 for Desert Vista. DJ Williams had himself a nice little reception there, but unfortunately just not able to haul that in. And the DBs were bearing down that time for Mountain Pointe. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in our first half. Great looking overhead shot right there. They'll run through the traffic. And nowhere to go once again. This Mountain Pointe defensive line really playing sound gap control here tonight, Ed, and not a whole lot of holes being opened up front thus far for that Desert Vista offense.
Yeah, because they're closing all those gaps that the running backs are trying to get through. As you mentioned, stellar up-front play by the defensive backs and also the linebackers.
2-by-2 on the outside for Hansen. Third down and long. He drops back. He's got some protection. Now he rolls out to his right. He's going to go down for the sack. On the hunt that time for Mountain Pointe, number 43, Marley Felly. 6 foot, 230 pound, just a sophomore in there wreaking havoc.
So they called a 15-yard face mask on Mountain Pointe.
That penalty assessed. I'm not sure who that was assessed to, but regardless, it is another killer penalty there for Mountain Pointe, and Desert Vista so far with 30 free yards here on this drive. Two receivers to each side now for Hansen. He'll hand it off to Jackson. Jackson's churning the legs across the 30. The ball pops out, and they say he was down. So he's ruled down at the 27-yard line of Mountain Pointe. That'll be a pickup of 6 yards. It'll bring up second down and 4 right here. Second and 6, excuse me, 4-yard pickup. Hansen play fake. Swing pass. Ball falls incomplete. It's intended for Isaac Price. And there's one of those slobber knockers we like to refer to right there, Ed. Great job getting in there on defense by Mountain Pointe.
I think that was that Chase Shoemate? I think that was number 2.
I believe it was number 2.
He flew so fast, I think it was number 2.
He was moving. Third down now, pressure off the edge. Desert Vista to the air, the ball falls incomplete. And batting that thing down, number 4, who else? It's Batman, Ryland Dillard Allen. Oh, my goodness.
That is just outstanding coverage by Batman. He jumped when the wide receiver jumped. He timed it perfectly, got his paw in there and knocked the football away. That's great coverage by number 4.
Fourth down now, and it looks like Desert Vista is going to keep the offense on the field right here.
And if Mountain Pointe can dodge a bullet here after giving up 2 major penalties, 2 15-yard personal foul penalties, and they get away from this with 53 seconds left to go for the half, and they're still up 14-0, that'd be a major victory for Eric Lauer's defense. The defensive pressure that Mountain Pointe is dialing up and bringing on Seth Hansen, they're bringing at least 2 or 3 guys back in the backfield, forcing the issue on Hansen. He's got to roll out and throw the football away. But you got to give the props to the Mountain Pointe defense for coming after number 13. And that had to be their game plan tonight, JP. You got to come after QB1 as much as you can. Get off those blocks, get away from those offensive linemen, blow those blocks away, and get to number 13.
So we will see if the Desert Vista Thunder can capitalize here on these miscues on the personal fouls here on this drive by Mountain Pointe.
It's a huge fourth down for both of these teams, JP, right? We talk about
doubt.
Mountain Pointe's got to atone for their mistakes. Their 2 big mistakes. They got to get this offense off the field, get their offense back on the field. And in kind, Desert Vista has got to convert on fourth down and keep the drive alive with 2:22 to go and hopefully get a score as you get closer to halftime.
You know, it's a way different conversation in the locker room, 14-7 versus 14-0 or possibly more.
Yeah.
If Mountain Pointe's able to do something else here before the half. Outstanding shot from overhead. Carl Kiefer Stadium.
Great shot.
Fourth down now for the Desert Vista Thunder. Hansen shrugs the shoulders, goes deep. It's too tall for his intended wide receiver, Cale Moore. And Jacob Carter, the senior defensive back, providing coverage there for the Mountain Pointe Pride. It'll be a turnover on downs. First down and 10 upcoming now for the Pride from their own 27-yard line.
So, yes, the Mountain Pointe Pride do dodge a bullet. Their 2 big mistakes did not come back to bite them in the tail. So, Butter will go back out on the field. He's got another chance to get his guys down the field. 2:16 to go. They're up 14-0. Nice stand there defensively on 4th and 6 for Mountain Pointe, James.
And now I would have to imagine if you're Coach Eric Lauer here and your offense, you want to run that rock right here and drain out the rest of this first half clock. First down and 10 for the Pride. 3-by-1 on the outside now for Tollefson. Back to pass. Protection holds. He climbs the pocket. Got grabbed there for a moment, but was able to shake the tackler. Resets the feet. Goes downfield, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to find Chase Shoemate there, and Darian Jones with an outstanding job in coverage there for Desert Vista. My goodness.
So much athleticism on the field, right? Butter just getting away from tacklers, guys that are coming to try to sack him. He rolls around, and he's trying to make the connection. But as you mentioned, Darian Jones also almost jumps the route, almost jumps it,
yes.
and gets an interception right there.
Second and 10 now for the Pride. 3-by-1 on the outside for Tollefson. They'll hand it off to Otis. Into some traffic and nowhere to run as number 50 corrals him almost immediately for the Desert Vista Thunder. That is Ofasong Okan, the 6-foot senior, in there on the stop that time for the Desert Vista Thunder.
And JP, let's keep an eye on Bobo. He came off limping right now. He's heading toward the trainer's table, so let's keep an eye on him. That'd be a big loss for Mountain Pointe if he can't come back. Yeah, the training staff's already looking at him.
Third down now upcoming here for Mountain Pointe. Empty backfield for Tollefson. Drops back to pass. Pressure comes off the edge. They're bearing down on him. Tollefson throws down the field. The ball falls incomplete. Intended target was Gabe Cordova. and Braylon Edwards providing outstanding lockdown coverage there for the Thunder.
And, of course, the home faithful won a pass interference on that play for number 10, for Braylon Edwards. To no avail. They don't get that call.
So the punting unit will come on here for Mountain Pointe, and Desert Vista's got a little bit of time left here. See if they can get something done before the end of half number 1.
And that's what you want if you're Desert Vista. You want to get a quick 3 and out for Mountain Pointe, get the football back, and as you mentioned, 1:15 to go, possibly drive down and get a score they really need before the half.
Cooper Walsh back deep to receive here for Desert Vista. A high spiraling punt. And this one caught at the 31-yard line. So that's where Desert Vista will go back to work, as we remind you that the NASCAR Xfinity Championship rolls into Phoenix live from Phoenix International Raceway. CW7 Arizona brings you every lap and every turn of NASCAR Xfinity's top drivers. You will get to see who will be the champion. Coverage begins this Saturday at 5 p.m. right here on CW7 Arizona, your new home for NASCAR. Ed, that's going to be an exciting weekend.
Oh, yes, it is, without a doubt.
No doubt there'll be some additional traffic out there in Avondale.
Like there already is in traffic out on the west side. It's going to get even worse with all the NASCAR traffic.
Hanson retreats. Swing pass. Isaac Price on the reception. And that thing is shut down almost immediately by Jacob Carter.
And it started with that pressure up front. You see the guys coming off the edge, getting pressure on Seth Hanson. Get some hands up in his face. He makes the connection. But as you mentioned, number 7 was right there, Jacob Carter, to bring down the deadly Isaac Price.
Timeout on the field called by Desert Vista. They want to try to take advantage of this opportunity here and see if they can get something done.
Oh, yeah. Because of the election this week, folks, the show the pros watch inside the NFL will be seen tomorrow night. So go inside the huddle of today's top NFL teams with trusted expert analysis. Ryan Clark, my Kappa brother, with Bill Belichick, Chad Johnson, and Chris Long get you ready for all the week's NFL action with Inside the NFL tomorrow night at 7 right here on CW7 Arizona.
This is the 28th edition of the Ahwatukee Bowl, and no doubt this presentation has a wonderful looking trophy there provided by the Ahwatukee Foothills News. We mentioned that Mountain Pointe leads the all-time series 14-13, and they got the win last season 21-16 over at Desert Vista High School. So the trophy is in the building, and it's still anyone's at this point in the ballgame.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of football left to go before one of these teams gets the ability to hoist that trophy and the honor of it.
2-by-2 on the outside now for Hanson. Second down and long. Protection holds. Pressure off the edge. He'll climb the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. Hanson looking to throw. Nothing's home. And he is driven to the turf.
As number 17, Jalen Coulter, the linebacker, just hawked him down. Look at that. Just great pursuit right there. He was not going to stop turning his legs. Coulter was all after him. The 6'1", 180-pound junior. Great pursuit by Coulter after QB1.
Nowhere to hide there for Seth Hanson as Jalen Coulter running flat down the line of scrimmage right there, as they'd love to see from their defensive line. The third place game in our top 5 Tukey Bowls, presented by Mr. Chris Eaton from Gridiron, Arizona, features a 2018 matchup. The Desert Vista Thunder getting the win 28-27 over Mountain Pointe. Parker Navarro tried to scramble to avoid being sacked on a 3rd down and 9. And the Desert Vista quarterback fired a pass between 2 defenders to Dominic Shepardson, who caught it, shed a tackler, and broke loose for a 36-yard touchdown to provide the final score with just 4 minutes remaining. Mountain Pointe got to the Desert Vista 27-yard line in the closing seconds, but Coach Rich Relbach didn't feel his kicker could hit from 44 yards, so they went for the long pass. That pass was intercepted by Khalil Bright, and the white-clad Thunder fans rushed the field here at Carl Kiefer Stadium. Back to pass. Hanson goes deep. It falls incomplete. Aeneas Redmond, I don't think he even had track of the football there.
No.
As he was well covered by Chase Shoemake.
And again, Hanson had to roll out on his own because the pressure kept coming from him. So got to give props to this Mountain Pointe defense, getting off the blocks, again, shedding those offensive linemen and getting right up in 13's face. That had to have been one of the main game plans for Mountain Pointe this week for Coach Lauer. You've got to get pressure on number 13. You've got to get up in his face and force the issue. Otherwise, he'll slice you to pieces.
Yeah, Seth Hansen, we talked about it earlier in the ball game, has thrown for over 2,500 yards, but so far here tonight, most of the time he's been running for his life, courtesy of that pressure provided by the Mountain Pointe defensive line.
Yeah, not much to say for Isaac Price either. These defensive backs have covered him really well.
They have indeed.
Game plan is working almost to perfection for Mountain Pointe tonight.
The Thunder will punt it away once again here. And this one will be fielded at the 46-yard line of Mountain Pointe.
Folks, CW7 Arizona is your home for college football. This Saturday, it's a football frenzy of games. It all kicks off with an ACC matchup between Syracuse and Boston College. Then we're off to the West Coast for San Jose State and Oregon State. And the nightcap, Saturday night, is Utah State and Washington State. So get comfy, get your snacks, lock yourself in for a triple header of great college football on CW7 this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m.
You're going to have a lot of snacks for 3 games like that, Ed, I would have to say. Caught on the play across the 50-yard line there by R.J. Washington. Jaden Ruby in coverage there for Desert Vista. And Mountain Pointe going with a little hurry up right here.
Yeah, as the clock runs about 12 seconds to go, they got to get a play off here.
Tollison in the shotgun, swings it out into the flat. It falls incomplete. And Butter was trying to connect that time with number 80, Michael Porter, 5'7" sophomore wide receiver for Mountain Pointe. Clock is stopped with 7 seconds remaining here in our first half. Third down now for Mountain Pointe. 2 receivers to each side, and we have a timeout on the field called by the Desert Vista Thunder. Don't forget, stay with us at halftime. We are planning to be joined by the one and only Just Chili, who will come up here and give us his thoughts on half number 1. And can you believe it, Ed? This will be the 3rd appearance of the season for Chili on the broadcast here.
Wow, we're so honored to have him 3 times in the season. As busy as that guy is, for him to be on 3 times, I mean, that's great for us.
He joined us over at Tempe High earlier in the season when we had the Tempe Buffaloes and the Yuma Criminals on.
Yeah.
Then he caught up with us again out there at McClintock when the Cienega Bobcats came to town to witness the greatness of one Jackson Knutson.
Oh, yeah. That kid's pretty special, Jackson.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, he is.
You know, they talk about flamethrowers. He's one of those flamethrowers.
Yes, he is.
So 3rd down here for the Pride. 7 seconds remaining here in half number 1. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. They'll swing it out. That's a backward pass, so that's a live football. And they try a little halfback throwback action. And if nothing else, they're able to burn 7 seconds off the clock right there.
Gabe Cordova, great job of his. You know, he didn't get the football, so he knew he had to scramble and get away from the defenders. They're coming after him, so he's got to throw the football away somehow.
We have played 2 quarters of football here at Carl Kiefer Stadium on the campus of Mountain Pointe High School.
The game can't end on a penalty. The half can't end on a penalty, right? No.
Oh, yes, so we might have an untimed down right here, so don't go anywhere just yet. Mountain Pointe High School opening in 1991, and this series began in 1997.
Mountain Pointe lining up for a field goal attempt. Francisco Orduno is the kicker / punter, 6'3", 170-pound junior. He's going to line up for a field goal attempt, James.
A 50-yard field goal attempt here, right hash. Orduno, 6'3", 170, swings the leg through. It's got enough, and it's just a bit right. So our first half is officially now in the books. As you can see the trophy down there near the pyrotechnics in the corner of the end zone. And the Mountain Pointe Pride lead at the half by the score of 14-0. We will step aside, take a brief commercial timeout, and return for the halftime report. After this, you're watching Thursday Night Kickoff right here on CW7 Arizona. Stay with us.
You know, in the time it took me to get this coffee, there was most likely a serious car accident here in the Valley. I'm attorney Fred Thomas. I grew up in the Valley. I've been helping injured people in the Valley for almost 20 years.
If you're injured, contact an attorney that, like you, calls the Valley home. And, like with so many others, will get you the compensation for your pain.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, call me, and I'll get you the compensation you deserve.
If you're injured, call Thomas Law.
This is for my fee and other bills, and this is for you.
I can't for the life of me understand why some attorneys charge 1/3 or more to handle an accident case. At Hastings & Hastings, we discount our fee, putting more money in your pocket.
Visibly eliminate wrinkles and under eye bags in 10 minutes with results that last up to 10 hours without needles and without surgery. Plexiderm does it for only $14.95. Try it this Thanksgiving. Visit plexidermtrial.com.
I am here to contest the new Whataburger from Whataburger. What? Real wings have bones. And these boneless wings are actually premium chicken tender bites tossed in one of Whataburger's famous sauces. Honey butter, honey barbecue, buffalo, or
sweet and spicy.
And now Nashville hot? Those do not turn these Whata wings into real wings. I know what a real wing is. It's not a wing.
Whataburger, Whata wings.
I'm Doug Hopkins, and I want to buy your house. With over 30 years in the business, my team knows how to get you more for your house. At DougHopkins.com, we don't just promise more, we deliver more. That means a top dollar offer for your house. No agent fees, no cancellations, and no hassles. Want even more? We can close in as little as 3 days. And you can even stay in your home after closing. That's the Doug Hopkins difference. Call us at 1-800-SELL-NOW or visit DougHopkins.com and get more for your home today.
We welcome you back to Carl Kiefer Stadium here in Phoenix, Arizona, on the campus of Mountain Pointe High School. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Of course, I had to put the shades on. Chili, you're always rocking the shades. Tell us your thoughts on the first half of the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl.
Hey, well, Mountain Pointe's offense seems to be coming together a little bit. I like what my guy Bobo is doing out there on the ground. Hey, we got to use the nicknames. We're hip. There
are a lot of nicknames on this team.
My guy Butter out here really orchestrating things, trying to make some plays, make things happen. Chase Shoemate looks spectacular as an athlete out here going both ways. And then obviously there's Rylan Dillard Allen. What a phenomenal defensive player. Might be the best defensive player in Arizona.
No doubt about it. I mean, Tolleson is beyond impressive at quarterback, and you got to give it up to that offensive line because they've really kept him clean and given him a lot of time to work his magic out there.
Hey, yeah, and he's special. He's such a gift as an athlete. And the whole situation is crazy because I know everybody's kind of pointing to this whole Mountain Pointe's been 1-3 with him as a starter and things like that, but he is such a spectacular gadget guy that can do so many different things other than just play quarterback. And I know that Robert Knorr was super successful here before he came, and I know they're trying to figure out ways to use both of them, implement them both into the offense and make that thing cook, and they've kind of been successful with that.
What is it about this Mountain Pointe team and Coach Lauer where they're able to just, it's like a running back factory here. We've seen Christian Clark come through here, Jalen Rushing a couple years ago, and now Bobo Otis comes in here in his first year and is making his mark here on this Mountain Pointe program.
Coach Lauer has built his resume as the running back whisperer. He did it over here with Mountain Pointe way before, back in the Norris Vaughn days. So, like, what he's been able to do with the running back situation, the running back room, and build his offense around that and try to make that thing go, absolutely spectacular. Shout out to the guys like Gary Bragg and all of them back in the day that really made that thing cook. But yeah, like Bobo is ridiculous. The Louisianimal is an absolute problem.
Louisianimal. See, we didn't even know there was another nickname for this young man. We thought it was simply Bobo. We got the top 5 Tukey Bowls according to our guy Chris Eaton from Gridiron, Arizona. You know how you guys go on the numbers every week. What are some of your favorite memories of this ball game? I know you've been to quite a few of these over the years.
Shoot, I want to say circa 2013, 2014. My guy Ralph Amazon got trapped on the fence trying to leave the game because it was so insane, and he got trapped on the fence. It was the year after Mountain Point was like super successful.
He wasn't leaving early, was he?
No, we were just trying to beat to beat the crowd, the rush, the madness. He got caught like trying to jump over the fence. I got a picture of it. Maybe I'll put it on Twitter.
There you go. Outstanding stuff. Chili, thank you so much for taking the time. We always enjoy you visiting with us, and enjoy the second half here, my friend.
For sure. Thank you so much. Sonia Blade.
So with us more of the halftime report coming up here on CW7 Arizona. We're live from Carl Kiefer Stadium in Ahwatukee. Come on back. The 28th annual Tukey Bowl. Second half coming up after the break.
Honoring veterans by highlighting the generations of those who serve. United States Marine Corps Officer Riley T. Jack is an Olympic bobsled hopeful, former Ms. Military, and is currently deployed.
It's not about me, it's about showing the younger generation what's possible and what they can live up to. Determination, of grit, of never quitting, of getting knocked down and coming back up.
Veterans Voices, sponsored by TikTok, which is committed to serving and uplifting the veteran community.
Are you 65 or older and wondering which Medicare plan best fits your needs and your budget? Then make the wise call right now by calling Cigna Healthcare at 855-956-1860. Looking for low monthly premiums? With Medicare Advantage from Cigna Healthcare, they're as low as $0. Copays for many prescription drugs are as low as $0 too. You can even increase your Social Security check with a plan that helps cover your Part B premium. Plus, you'll enjoy lots of additional benefits, like coverage for preventive and comprehensive dental services. Call now and you'll receive our free Medicare Advantage Decision Guide. It includes a benefit summary, questions to ask before choosing a plan, and more. Open enrollment ends December 7th, so call 855-956-1860 now. Whether you're a Medicare rookie or looking to switch plans, it's easy to see how much you get with Medicare Advantage from Cigna Healthcare.
Phoenix custom culture artist Spock. He is known for his lettering, his murals, his vehicle painting, and of course now he's teamed up with NASCAR to make these incredible tires on display here at Tempe Marketplace. Can you tell us about the process in creating these?
Well, when they dropped these off, I didn't realize it was just going to be a stack of tires. So the process was a little bit different from what I'm used to. There was definitely a lot of taping involved and a lot of different textures that I had to kind of combat.
I bet you everybody always asks you this, but how long did it take?
This particular one took about half an hour. I'm just kidding. No, it was about 3 days worth of work, yeah. 3 or 4 days.
And you have murals all over town. You're very famous for your murals, and everybody knows you never sign them. However, look, there's your signature here, and it looks so cool.
Well, this is pretty much like the biggest platform I've ever worked with, so I figured my name has to be on it somewhere, you know?
I'm glad it is, Spock. How did you end up teaming up with NASCAR for this?
They reached out. They found me through my website and sent me an email and asked if I wanted to be a part of this project, and of course I agreed. I was ready from the beginning. It was just pretty scary when they dropped off, like, you know, a stack of raw tires.
Yeah, it's like a blank canvas.
Yeah.
Only it's tires, which you've never painted before, and it seems like it's difficult because of the curves.
Yeah, the curves, and then there's all these little like hairs from the tires. There's all these textures. It had this vinyl stuff on it. So I mean, getting across, it had holes in it, bumps. You know, you could see them here. And I had to somehow paint over them and make it look like they're not there. So
tell me about the metal embellishments here.
So this was my buddy Vern. He's actually a jeweler, and he actually hammered these out of raw metal and textured them, and then I covered them in gold leaf.
It's beautiful.
They're 100% handmade, and hammered in there.
I love your color scheme. How did you come up with it?
So one of my biggest inspirations is a painter by the name of Larry Watson, and this is kind of like my version of a Larry Watson paint job mixed with that lowrider culture feel, you know. So these are definitely colors that he's been using, and I wanted to also match it with the colors of the branding. So it was kind of a big mishmash of both, you know.
You do a lot of custom car work, pinstriping, lettering. How did you get started? I know you were real young.
The short story is, you know, I met my mentor, Eddie Torres, which he basically taught me how to make money with the brush, and I haven't put it down since.
What does it take, more than just an aesthetic or a style? Do you have to have a really steady hand?
It takes time. It's just literally like with anything, it just takes time and patience, and it can all be done. I mean, I drink a lot of coffee, so my hands are not really that steady, but you use the right brush, the right paint, and the right technique, and you know, you can pull straight lines and curvy lines, and this is called curly Q. It's a form of pinstriping that I added on here, so it just takes time to learn.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because the curly Q is my favorite part. I love it. If people want to see more of your work, of course, they can go out to NASCAR for championship, but where can they find you online?
I'm on social media under ElSpawk, ELSPAWK, or if you just go on, I have a website as well, spawk.co. Pretty much everything is on there. If you just Google my name, hopefully it comes up. I'm not sure, but it might.
Just get the spelling right.
Yeah, S-P-A-W-K.
There you go. Thank you so much. Beautiful work. It's stunning.
Thank you so much.
In a wreck and thinking about dealing with the insurance company yourself? Stop! People represented by an attorney get more than 3 times the money than those who don't have an attorney.
Murder and rope is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
I didn't ask to be in an accident. It just happened out of nowhere. But I'm glad I called Hastings & Hastings.
Been injured in an accident? Here's why you should call Hastings & Hastings. Over 40 years experience representing only accident victims. Your first consultation is with a lawyer, not a salesman. Your case is our most important one, and we discount our fee, putting more money in your pocket. More experience, more service, more money for you. That's Hastings & Hastings.
You love high school football? Visit Dave & Buster's Tempe before or after the game. Wear your school's colors, and Dave & Buster's will donate 20% of your check to your school's athletic department. For more details, visit daveandbusters.com.
Visibly eliminate wrinkles and under eye bags in 10 minutes with results that last up to 10 hours without needles and without surgery. Plexiderm does it for only $14.95. Try it this Thanksgiving. Visit plexidermtrial.com.
$10 million in a pedestrian accident, $5 million in a car accident. These are just a few of our recent results.
Hurt in a wreck? Need a check? We're Lerner and Rowe. Make one call, that's all.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Great stuff there from Miss Teresa Strasser out there at Phoenix International Raceway. An exciting Saturday coming up for all you NASCAR fans. That race, championship race, will be taking place here out in Avondale this Saturday. Here tonight, it's the 28th edition of the Tukey Bowl. And the Mountain Pointe Pride leading the Desert Vista Thunder by the score of 14-0 as we welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. James Poovey alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. Parker Garash will be joining us from the sideline momentarily with Coach Jake McSpadden from the Desert Vista Thunder. And your thoughts, Ed, on what Coach McSpadden might be drawing up on the whiteboard there at the halftime?
Well, one thing you've got to draw up is no turnovers. They had 2 turnovers in the first half. That negated 2 drives. Two really good drives, but they turned the football over. So that was potentially 14 points that you erased off the board. It could potentially be tied 14-14 because you were negligent with the football. It's 14-0 now because they took advantage of one of those turnovers with Bobo Otis's first touchdown run. Bobo with 2 rushing touchdowns, so he's been really good, but let's keep an eye on him. He got banged up toward the end of the first half, so let's see if 23 can come out, but I know he'll come out. He'll be ready to go because he knows how big this football game is, but it is all about the adjustments. So, yes, stop turning the football over, let Seth Hansen do his thing, move the football down the field. You've got to get pressure on Butter, because Butter's been Butter, just like his nickname says. So they've been really good on Mountain Pointe, but Mountain Pointe's defense holding them to 0 points. They've got to find a way to crack through that defense and get some points if you're Desert Vista.
No doubt Butter is on a roll here tonight for the Mountain Pointe Pride.
I see where you went right there.
Yeah, you saw what I did right there. And I think if you're Coach Eric Lowry, you just kind of got to stay the course right here. They're doing a really good job getting pressure on the 2,500-yard passing Seth Hansen.
Yes.
And not allowing those running backs to get loose either when they hand the ball off.
Running backs also, Isaac Price has been pretty much neutralized tonight, so we'll have to see if number 15 can get loose again and get out here and make some plays for Desert Vista like he's done all season long. He's going to have to do that tonight if they want to get back in this football game.
No doubt, though, that the halftime adjustments, both these coaches really good at those halftime adjustments, and possibly Desert Vista could come out here a different ball club. Only down 14 right now. It's not out of the woods yet, but they definitely do not want to let the Mountain Pointe Pride come out here and start adding points to that total.
But here's the thing, JP, they run the kickoff and they got the football first, so now their defense is going to have to drop back on the field. They're going to have to get stops. They're going to have to stop Mountain Pointe's offense initially once we get this thing kicked off in the third quarter. So it's going to be on the defense to get a stop and then get their offense back on the field.
Special thanks to our halftime guest, Just Chili, joining us here for the third time this season on Thursday Night Kickoff. Always great to visit with him, and get his thoughts here, as he is one of the Arizona high school football gurus here in the Grand Canyon State. We'll step aside, take a brief commercial timeout, and return for more of the halftime report. You're watching Thursday Night Kickoff right here on CW7 Arizona. Come on back to Carl Kiefer Stadium after the break.
Veterans Voices, honoring those that have served. Author, Air Force veteran, and fourth-generation military member Therese Garnier inspires survivors to find their voices and heal through storytelling.
When you can use your voice and take your power back, that's what it's all about, taking your power back. And I feel so powerful as a result of using my voice to help others.
Veterans Voices, sponsored by TikTok, which is committed to serving and uplifting the veteran community.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer, and I want to buy your house. But I also want to do something even more important. This holiday season, for every home I buy, I'll donate $1,000 to St. Jude.
I want to sincerely thank Andrew the Homebuyer. St. Jude saved my daughter's life, and it's because of donations like this that it was made possible.
By calling today, you'll get your home sold and help a family that really needs it.
Whataburger's new Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double.
Sounds like a 5-alarm fire.
Not really, Frank. The jalapeno cream cheese, jalapeno ranch, and pickled jalapenos give it a pleasant heat.
So like a 4-alarm?
Nope. It's a delicious controlled blaze.
Like a little kitty stuck in a tree alarm.
Nah, hotter than that. Let's say the 2.5 alarm Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double. I think the pole's broken.
New Whataburger Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double. It's just a little hot.
Welcome back to Carl Kiefer Stadium here on the campus of Mountain Pointe High School. Just about 2.5 minutes remaining here in our halftime. The Mountain Pointe Pride leading the Desert Vista Thunder by the score of 14-0. We bring you now the Next Care Urgent Care Health Tip of the Week, presented by Next Care Urgent Care, proud supporters of Thursday Night Kickoff right here on CW7 Arizona.
Yes, James, it is time for our Next Care Urgent Health Tip. A deficiency in vitamin D can lead to weakened bones, which may increase your chances for conditions like shin splints. Remember, folks, 80% of emergency room visits can be treated at Next Care Urgent Care for an average of 1/3 of the cost. 80% of emergency room visits, yes, I said 80%, it can be treated at any Next Care Urgent Care location for an average of 1/3 the cost.
Outstanding value, always at a premium there at Next Care Urgent Care, and we always appreciate their support. They've been supporters all season long here on Thursday Night Kickoff, and they're also help us out with the Student Athlete of the Week as well. I'm excited about this second half, Ed. This ball game could go either way, but as you mentioned, Desert Vista's got to come out and get a 3-and-out, hopefully, on defense and get that football back, try to do something offensively.
Yeah, we ran off a couple of the top 5 Tukey Bowls. We did 5, 4, and 3, and they all came down to crazy plays toward the end of the game. They've all been tight, so we could possibly expect another tight one this time. It'll be another 30 minutes of football in the third and fourth quarter, so anything can happen in a rivalry game like this in the 28th Tukey Bowl.
How many times have we seen a tale of two halves where one team just comes out and looks like an absolutely different football team in half number 2? So we'll see what happens. As you can see, the Desert Vista Thunder now making their way onto the playing surface here at Carl Kiefer Stadium in their all-white road look tonight here with the blue numbers trimmed in gold and the customary gold helmets. We've also got K7 Media out here as well, and a number of media outlets. I saw Mr. Peter Clark from 5 Star Sports out there a little bit earlier as well. And this Tukey Bowl brings out all the dignitaries, Ed.
Oh, yeah, when you look at the fireworks over there, and the trophy sitting right there next to those fireworks, that lets you know it's a big game.
Absolutely right. We're about ready to roll here for half number 2. Our sideline reporter, Mr. Parker Rash, is awaiting the arrival of Coach Jake McSpadden. And I believe he's got him right now. Let's send it down sideline level to Mr. Parker Garash. Take it away, Parker.
Appreciate it, guys. Coach, only 14-0. You'll be able to hold a very talented Mountain Point Pride team to a low score here. What was the message in the locker room to your guys to try and get the win here on a rivalry game?
Hey, we got to keep playing good defense, and we got to come out and score some points on offense. That's what we got to do here.
Your offense has been looking good. Your defense is also, like I said, been able to hold a very good team. What can you do to get this offense going, get some points on the board, and make a big impact here against the top team in the 6A division?
We got to quit beating ourselves, and we're stopping ourselves right now. We're not doing our job the whole time, and we just got to get away from that, keep playing good defense, like I said, and it'll be a fun second half.
Appreciate the time, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Great stuff down there from field level from our sideline reporter, Mr. Parker Garash. We're about ready for kickoff here. 2.5 minutes have been put back on the clock as both teams get limbered up here. It's starting to cool off just a little bit out here at Mountain Point High School. And but a gorgeous evening. It's definitely football weather out here, Ed. Temperature right now sitting at 63 degrees, although it feels a little bit cooler than that, I would say.
Yeah, it is nippy out here, but as you mentioned, it's important for these young men to stay limber, as you mentioned, so they don't stiffen up, because it is a little bit chilly out here. 63 degrees. We're up here in the stands, a little bit, you know.
A little bit of elevation up here, right?
Yeah.
And folks, if you've never been out here for a football game, it is an absolutely gorgeous backdrop of the Ahwatukee foothills.
You saw the skyline with the drone shot right there.
Yes, you can see the crowd out here in full force tonight here for what possibly could be the last home game of the season for the Mountain Point Pride. We'll see how things shake out when it comes playoff time. We'll be out at Tonopah Valley High School tomorrow night for a 2A matchup. That'll feature the Parker Broncs squaring off against the undefeated Tonopah Valley Phoenix. First 10-0 start in program history. That game will be brought to you live on the Epic Sports Network on YouTube. Make sure to tune into that. I'll have the call alongside Mr. Tim Pearson tomorrow night, and we'll be on the air at 6:45 p.m. Kickoff set for 7, and then next Friday night we'll also be on the air once again for a 4, 5, or 6A playoff matchup. I'm excited.
Yeah, I cannot wait. It's playoff time, folks. This is the most exciting time of the year when these guys, it's one or done. You win, you continue on. You lose, you go home.
You need more high school football, then head on over to CW7 Arizona, or you can simply scan that QR code that you can see on your screen right there. You will find all kinds of information, including links for the Friday Night Red Zone, our exclusive coaches show, the pep rally held here earlier this morning, upcoming schedules, and much, much more. Let's get ready to send it down to Mr. Parker Garash on the sideline and get his thoughts as we get ready for half number 2. Take it away, Park.
What's up, guys? Made my way to the other part of the field. Coach, 14-0. What have you liked from your team so far in that first half?
We're playing decent. We just need to clean up some things on offense, execute, and stay on task.
With this being possibly your guys' last home game, what was the message in the locker room to your guys to go and get the win against your rival here on home field?
Well, it's the Tukey Bowl. 2 more quarters, guys. Let's close this thing out. New game, but fast, physical, and focused is our mentality.
Appreciate the time, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Great stuff from down there from head coach Eric Lauer. His Mountain Point Pride leading the Desert Vista Thunder at halftime by the score of 14-0 as we give you a look high atop Carl Kiefer Stadium here in Phoenix. And this is an absolutely magnificent part of town, Ed.
It really is so beautiful out here, and we are ready for 24 minutes of football. Let's see if it's going to be beautiful for the Pride, or if it's going to be beautiful for Desert Vista if they can come back and win this game.
Chase Shoemate and Rylan Dillard Allen back deep to receive for the Mountain Point Pride as Desert Vista tees it up, and we're ready for half number 2 of the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl. Jadine Ruby will kick it off here for Desert Vista. And 12 minutes back up on the clock here. We'll see if I can get a little circulation to the left side of my body right quick. There we go. And this is an outstanding matchup. We were out here 2 years ago for this very same football game. That one fielded inside the 15 now. Here comes Mountain Point with a nice head of steam through the traffic. And then the ball carrier's upended there by Jadine Ruby, the kicker. You love to see it. Chase Shoemate on the return. And that gives us a chance to remind you that tonight's coverage is being brought to you in part by the Spirit Consultants, Arizona's official cheer and dance instructional company. And shout out to these young ladies who always do a magnificent job every single week, working hard. They put in a lot of hours of practice to come out here and entertain the fans and give them the full football experience, as we like to say.
Absolutely.
First down and 10 now for the Pride. 3 receivers to the near side now for Tollefson. Play fake. He's going to keep it himself. A little zone read, good for a 2-yard gain. Out to the 39-yard line, brings up second down and 8 now for the Mountain Point Pride. We're just underway here in half number 2. So glad you joined us tonight for Thursday night kickoff. And we appreciate you tuning in, whether you're watching over the air through a traditional television antenna, or you got us tonight on YouTube TV, Fubo TV, maybe you're watching us on Cox Cable, a number of different places to watch this 28th Tukey Bowl. A far side connection over there, it's complete. Still on the run, all the way down across the 40-yard line. And Mountain Point with a great gainer there for Nick Valadez. 5'8", 212 pounds. And once he gets into third or fourth gear, Ed, he's tough to bring down.
And once he's open, then he gets into second, third gear. He's that much deadly to bring down. 5'8", 212, the junior. Once he gets a full head of steam, yeah, he's like a wrecking ball. He's like a bowling ball that cannot be stopped.
Forced out of bounds at the Desert Vista 39-yard line. They'll hand it off. This is the Louisianimal, as Chile called him, Bobo Otis. And Jamarlin Otis carries it out to the 35-yard line. That'll be a 4-yard gain there for the Pride. And it'll bring up a second down and 6 here for Mountain Point. 2 by 1 on the outside now for Tollefson. They'll go to work out of the pistol. Otis once again gets the call. And he is quickly upended, although falling forward there. Lucas Scheremeyer on the stop, the 5'11", 200-pound senior for the Desert Vista Thunder.
And Scheremeyer trying to do his best job of stripping the football away or knocking the football away from Bobo, but to no effect. Bobo held on to the football. Got some yards, 3rd and 9. Actually 3rd and 4 in the 38-yard line for the Pride.
Aircraft will return to the home point.
Tollefson once again out of the pistol. He'll look to the sideline. They'll change the play at the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of your screen. Mountain Point working left to right. Running through the traffic and past the line to gain is Jamarlin Otis. And Bobo with another Pride first down here for Mountain Point. outside. 10 minutes remaining here in our third quarter. Tollefson hands it off to Bobo. Bobo continues to churn the legs. Gets down to the 25-yard line, where he has finally wrestled down to the turf by number 50, Ofasong Okan. And Okan has had a number of big stops in the middle tonight for that Desert Thunder defensive line.
Yes, he has. We've called his name quite a few times today, haven't we, JP?
We have.
6 foot, 310 pounds.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
Filling out that number 50 right there, you can see.
A guy that size, you know he's going to make some plays, right, James?
You know it.
Oh, goodness.
Very agile as well up front there. A nice gain on the play there. Looks like, once again, Bobo getting the call. Correction, that is number 29 that time on the carry for Mountain Pointe, Jameer McKinney. 5'5", 140-pound freshman. And one thing about Coach Lauer, he is not afraid to get his young men in the ball game and get them some varsity reps.
Yes, reps are so important, especially if you're a freshman.
2-by-1 on the outside, play fake. And Butter Tollefson plunges his way across the 20-yard line. He'll get down to the 17.
You see Butter get sleek when he tried to run through the straight through the offensive line, James.
He does a great job with that, getting skinny in there in the middle of that D line. Penalty flag on the play, so it'll move Mountain Pointe ever closer to the end zone. .16 remaining here in our third quarter.
Who's going to buck up now for Desert Vista's defense?
2-by-1 on the outside now for the Pride. Two backs in the backfield out of a wing right. They hand it off to Bobo. Plunges his way forward across the 5-yard line. And they'll spot him down at the 3. Jamarlin Otis with a nice gainer there for Mountain Pointe. And Mountain Pointe trying to extend their lead here over the Desert Vista Thunder.
Yeah, Bobo just following his blocker, following Jorge Moreno, number 71, just leading the way for him. He just follows big number 71, 23. Like, if he's out front, I'm going to follow right behind 71.
Just get behind that big boy and keep those legs churning. One receiver to each side now. Once again, handoff. Not much room to run in the middle there. And that, once again, was Bobo Otis.
I think we got, again, number 50 right in there. Ofasong Okan.
Okan, once again, manning the middle in there, the defensive line. There's big 50 for you.
Yep. Him, number 55, you see Xavier Cullum. Another big fella right there, number 1. Andrew Hoyt right behind them. It's a big fellas up front, James.
Absolutely. Play fake. Tollefson rolls out to his right. The ball falls incomplete. Trying to catch that thing off the back shoulder was Nick Valadez. And Valadez just not able to bring that one in as the ball was just a bit behind him. And if Tollefson would have let him just a little bit more on that play, it would have been an easy 6 there for the Pride.
Yeah, it's hard to catch the football when you're on the run, and as you mentioned, the football is behind you, so you got to move your body backwards to try to adjust for a ball being behind you. But number 28, unfortunately, he was not able to get that one, Valadez. But Desert Vista gets a victory right there, forcing a field goal attempt.
Orduno on for the 20-yard attempt. It's up and good. And our score, the Mountain Pointe Pride leading the Desert Vista Thunder 17-0 with 6.5 minutes remaining here in our third quarter. Well, according to Mr. Chris, we're going to take a short commercial timeout and return for more third quarter action. You're watching the 28th Ahwatukee Bowl from Carl Kiefer Stadium here in Phoenix. Stay with us. More third quarter action after the break.
Thursday Night Kickoff is sponsored in part by Thomas Law Group.
Hurt in a wreck? The insurance company is going to offer you a little check. We turn low offers into big checks. Hurt in a wreck? You need a real check? Make one call, that's all.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Have you had the craving for the best burrito anywhere? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Come on in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Burrito Express.
With 7 Valley locations and a new South Chandler location opening soon, your new favorite burrito is just right around the corner. Burrito Express, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Get Lerner and Rowe. Get your check. Get Lerner and Rowe.
I was in a wreck. I need a check. Get Lerner and Rowe.
Get smart. Get Lerner and Rowe.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Special teams come up big for Mountain Pointe. Francisco Arduino kicks a field goal, extends the lead for the Pride to 17-0. 6:32 left to go in this 28th edition, in the third quarter of the 28th edition of the Ahwatukee Bowl.
6.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. So glad to join us here tonight for our final regular season game on CW7 Arizona. And we want to shout out everyone who has made this possible throughout the season. Mr. Brian Sissick back at the mothership over there at 44th Street in Camelback. We understand Maddie is on duty tonight as well. Sam Goodman is not with us tonight, but he has been instrumental in this broadcast all season long, and we can't thank the folks over there at CW7 enough for giving us this opportunity to be on the air this season, and we look forward to doing it again next August, Ed.
Yes.
Desert Vista now out of their own end zone. On the return, Isaac Price out across the 25-30, and Price with a nice return to get the Desert Vista Thunder in really good field position to start this drive.
That is a spark that Desert Vista needed, with Isaac Price getting a really good return on special teams, a good kickoff return, getting him at the 30-yard line. Very nice special teams job by number 15. Got him in good field position. Let's see what Seth Hansen and this offense can do. They need to do something. They're down 17-0. That's a fact.
We also want to shout out Jude back there at the CW7 mothership as well, who is our audio engineer back at the station. We got Stephen Moore on hand here tonight.
Did you mention this young man to our
Mr.
right?
Brad Singleton has been with us all season long as well. The unsung hero of the group, Mr. Brad Singleton.
Thank you, Brad.
Often imitated, but never duplicated.
Thank you, Brad. Love you, Brad.
We do love Brad.
You my boy, Brad.
We really do.
You my boy, Brad.
A gain of 2 there for Desert Vista. 2nd down and 8 now.
Brad's out here soldiering up with us in the cold.
He is. Everybody's got their hands in their pockets here. 3-by-1 on the outside. I'm loving this weather. I got to be honest with you. Hansen hands it off. And into the teeth of the defense goes Desert Vista. And nowhere to run there as Taylor Caldwell on the stop.
I'm a Rolling Stone disciple with a cross across my face. I'm a trailer park tornado.
I believe that was Kevin Jackson on the tote there for DV. Back to pass. Hansen looks downfield. Goes. It falls incomplete. He put it right in the breadbasket there for DJ Williams.
He did.
But unfortunately, the senior wide receiver not able to haul it in and turn upfield.
I don't know if Williams was hearing those footsteps coming after him. There were about 6 pair.
Might have been.
There were about 3 pair of footsteps coming after him. So maybe he heard that and got a little gun shy. Couldn't catch the football. But unfortunately for DV, they've got to kick the football away. But a 3-and-out. That was just another wasted drive for the Thunder. Down 17.
It is unfortunate because they've had a number of chances here tonight. Jonas Snow back deep to punt it away now for the Thunder. And Snow gets a high spiraling kick away. It's fair caught at the 40-yard line. And that is number 20, Marion Overstreet. We'd like to also shout out Enzo back at the mothership for working the graphics for us. And I tell you what, Ed, it takes a lot of people with a lot of tremendous dedication to put on a broadcast like this.
It really does. You know, back in the day when we first started this over at the Epic Sports Network, did we ever think it was going to get to this? It was you and I and your sons.
Yes.
And Jamal would come on and do camera.
Yes.
Now we've got Sonia and Steven and Brad and everybody. We got Parker on the sidelines. It's crazy. We got Burrito Express.
Burrito Express is a huge contributor as Mountain Pointe getting loose right now, rumbling across the 40-yard line. That is
R.J. Washington.
R.J. Washington, yes it is. Look at him go. Cuts inside the defender there, and if he had stayed on his feet, he might still be running.
He might, but that's just great blocking up front by the offensive linemen, wide receivers, everybody kicking out to let R.J. Washington get a big run like that.
Tollison remains in that quarterback. They hand it off to Bobo. Bobo's out in the open space. Across the 10, 5, touchdown Jamarlin Otis. The young man who hails from Louisiana. Looks like he's running across the top of Lake Pontchartrain right there into the end zone for the touchdown. Magnificent job there, and the Pride starting to run away with this thing literally here in the 28th Tukey Bowl.
Yeah, Jamarlin Bobo Otis is responsible for all 3 touchdowns so far from Mountain Pointe with 3 rushing touchdowns. Wow, he's been spectacular. He told us again on Tuesday, he told us he was going to have a good game, a big game, and man, if he's not delivering.
The extra point is up and good with 4:43 remaining here in the third quarter. The Mountain Pointe Pride lead it 24-0 over the Desert Vista Thunder. Tonight's coverage is being brought to you in part by the fine people over at Burrito Express. The Marin brothers are doing a great job over there serving the community. We know they're going to be headed to the west side very soon, and they are very near to opening that new location out there in South Chandler at Val Vista and Riggs, I believe it is.
Okay, nice.
Right near Basha High School. So all you Basha Bears are going to be loading up on Burrito Express. And that is always good stuff. The NASCAR Xfinity Championship rolls into Phoenix, live from Phoenix International Raceway. CW7 Arizona brings you every lap, every turn of NASCAR Xfinity's top drivers. To see who will be champion, coverage starting at 5 p.m. on CW7 Arizona, your new home for NASCAR.
Does that mean there's going to be more traffic out in Avondale?
There's going to be a little bit more traffic this weekend over there, my friend.
It's not going to be a little bit more. It's going to be a lot more traffic.
And I don't know if there's a home game for the Cardinals this weekend. Are they home this weekend?
They play the Jets on Sunday.
Okay, the Jets coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
Behind Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
How about those?
Be familiar with that young man?
How about those Cardinals? They are in first place. They win. They'll be 6-4 going into their bye week. What a turnaround after that game in Green Bay, right?
Not too bad. They have really kind of turned that ship around out there in Glendale.
Yeah.
And Coach Candy got those guys playing with their hair on fire right now.
Goodness, yes.
We can only hope that the Denver Broncos do the same thing when they visit Arrowhead Stadium this weekend.
Well, it can only be better than what you guys did in Baltimore, which was nothing.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. I mean, still a fresh wound, but I understand. We couldn't really get things going there, but
Steve didn't like that. That's right. He likes the Broncos too. That's right.
That's right.
It's the truth, Steve.
There's a Baltimore fan back at the station I heard a little bit earlier. First down and 10 now for Desert Vista. 3-by-1 on the outside for Hansen. Play fake. Goes to the air. They've got to at this point. Lays it right in the breadbasket, and he's still on his feet. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Thunder. DJ Williams outrunning the defense there as he shook the last possible tackler there at the 40-yard line. And what an effort to get the Thunder back or on the scoreboard here for the first time tonight. And Ed, we got ourselves a ball game now, my friend.
Yeah, touchdown number 24 for Seth Hansen on the season. We know they had to get aerial, being down 24-0. You had to air the ball out.
No doubt.
And man, did Seth Hansen not launch that football. DJ Williams with a great catch. He got away from the defender, got that space, hit those afterburners, and was down the field. And for the touchdown, a big touchdown that Desert Vista needed.
Penalty flag on the play. After the touchdown, we got a personal foul. I believe it was taunting assessed to Mountain Pointe, so I believe they'll enforce that on the kickoff. And that's going to further sweeten the pot right here for the Desert Vista Thunder. Now the PAT. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. And right down 44th Street it goes. Our score with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in our third quarter. The Mountain Pointe Pride 24 and the Desert Vista Thunder 7. It's time for that Student Athlete of the Week presented by Thomas Law. And this one comes from the Mountain Pointe Pride, Ed.
Yes, sir. Thomas Law would like to recognize our Student Athlete of the Week from Mountain Pointe High School. It's Rylan Dillard Batman Allen.
Ooh.
Okay, I see
Batman
you, Rylan.
Getting it done everywhere.
Yes, he is. Rylan is a graduating senior this year in December. Actually, he's committed to continue his football career in education at the University of Washington, so he's going to be a Husky. Nice. Get up there to Seattle and do some things up there, young man. He's got a solid 3.43 GPA. He plays football and track, and he has hopes one day to be an environmental engineer. Check that out, JP.
Unbelievable job. Congratulations to Rylan Dillard Allen. They call him Batman, and no doubt Coach Jed Fish up there at the University of Washington knows all about the Arizona high school football talent here in State 48.
Oh, you better believe he does. That's great. Congratulations, Rylan. Good. You're going to do great things up there in Washington, up in Seattle with the Huskies. Have you ever been to that stadium? It is magnificent.
I have driven by it one time. I haven't actually been there, but I've been on the freeway right by it, and it is something to behold. The water just out there in the distance.
Oh, yes.
And, man, you got to love. That might be a time where you want to sit kind of in the upper deck there and really take in all that view.
Yeah, that lake that you have like right next to the stadium, it is spectacular.
Absolutely right.
It's a great campus, too.
Congratulations to Rylan Dillard Allen. And I got to tell you, one of the most exciting parts of doing this high school football broadcasting thing, Ed, is watching these young men excel at the next level. We've seen a lot of Arizona high school football players over the last few seasons even go on and do great things, even into the NFL ranks.
Yes, and I expect Rylan to do the same thing once he gets up to Washington. Folks, the NASCAR Xfinity Championship rolls into Phoenix live from PIR, Phoenix Raceway out there in Avondale, Arizona. CW7 Arizona brings you every lap, every turn of NASCAR's Xfinity top drivers to see who will be the champion. Coverage begins Saturday at 5 p.m. on CW7, your new home for NASCAR.
Three receivers to the near side now for Tollefson. Whistles at the snap. And so we will have to check the laundry on the field here. 12 men on the field there for Desert Vista.
Your son's cold.
I can see that. He's got my parka over there, and I guess I better not need it for the rest of the night, huh? First down and 5 now here for the Pride. After the 5-yard penalty marked off there from Desert Vista. Butter Tollefson now across the 30-yard line. He'll run it himself behind a slew of blockers. Make his way out of the end zone, and now we got a little bit of extracurricular activity there at the 45-yard line. And Braylon Edwards had a little bit of something to say there to that Mountain Pointe offense.
I saw that.
But our referees doing a great job tonight of not letting that get out of hand before it got out of hand.
Yeah, JP, how impressive is this blocking up front for Mountain Pointe? You see Bobo also popping out there to block for Butter to get him some yards.
These guys are extremely large, first of all, and outstandingly athletic up front as well. Backside handoff now goes to R.J. Washington. He's got room to run, and he is finally forced out of bounds on the far side by Elijah Toms. Elijah is a 6'2 sophomore over there. And Tom's doing a great job taking a great pursuit angle there as well and running that ball carrier out of the bounds into the Desert Vista sideline.
Yep.
But not before a 9-yard gainer there for the Pride. Second down and a yard here. Tight twins right. One more time, it's going to be Butter Tollefson. Tries to cut inside the defense, and nothing doing. Second tackle in a row there for Elijah Toms. Tom's doing a great job there, flowing flat down that line of scrimmage and then shooting that gap when it opens up.
Yeah, Tom's also number 9, Lucas Shiremeyer, was also in there on the stop, 5'11", 200-pound senior. So both of those guys came at the point of attack, hit Butter and brought him down. Nice defense.
Just under 4 minutes remaining here in our third quarter. First down and 10, Mountain Pointe from their own 48. 2 by 1 on the outside for Tollefson. They'll hand it off. into the defense. And that looks to be Otis one more time. And you mentioned Jamarlin Otis with 3 touchdowns here on the night for Mountain Point.
Yep, bucking for that player of the game.
He is in the driver's seat right now.
He is really in the driver's seat.
For that player of the game.
Yep.
Let me tell you what, unless something turns on its head here. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the third. 2-by-1 on the outside. They'll motion one over. That's Washington. Hand it off up the gut. And one more time into the defense goes Jamarlin Bobo Otis. Young man who transferred out here from the state of Louisiana. We got to catch up with him the other night on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. If you get a chance, get yourself over to the Epic Sports Network on YouTube and check out that interview. We had a great time visiting with him the other evening.
Yes, we did. What a great young man. Great personality, great attitude, great approach to the game of football. You know, it's tough for a young man to transfer, as you mentioned, from Louisiana to here, get used to the way things run here in Arizona as far as football is concerned. But when it comes down to a JP, it's just blocking and tackling and running the football.
Football is always going to be football, Ed. Tolson now rolls out. He's got room to run. Hurdles a defender. Hurdles another defender. Oh, my goodness. Tolson's still on the run. And Michael Butter Tolson into the end zone for the Mountain Point touchdown. Watch this hurdle job right there. Oh, my goodness.
What in the world did Butter do on that hurdle? He's trying to do his best Saquon Barkley, just not backwards.
Oh, my goodness.
My goodness gracious.
Unfortunately, I don't think we caught that hurdle job there on the replay, but let me tell you what, a thing of beauty as Tolson must have jumped about 10 foot in the air that time.
Wait, I think it got wiped away.
Penalty flag on the play. My goodness.
Oh, wow. Did they really wipe that away with the penalty? Are you serious? Yes. Oh, my goodness. And, of course, the home faithful voices their displeasure, as they should. How do you just destroy an incredible play like that? One of the plays of the year. Is it a holding call?
I didn't even see the call.
I didn't see
the play
because we were watching both. We were watching Butter do his thing.
We were busy reliving that thing in our minds. I think there for a minute, Ed.
It must have been a holding.
Guy elevate there about the 40-yard line or so.
You cannot destroy that. You can't call that play off.
Tolson now goes to the air. He's got a wide receiver. It falls incomplete, but it's going to be a penalty flag for pass interference, as it was 2-on-2 right there. Chase Shoemate, and unfortunately Darian Jones in coverage there, never turned his head to play the football.
Yep, that's what you have to do if you're a defensive back. If you're playing the football, you've got to turn and at least let the referees know you're trying to make a play on the football, as opposed to just impeding the wide receiver by not turning the football, and you're just running into him just to run into him to knock the football away.
So some of those yards back there for the Mountain Point Pride. And it'll move them deeper into Desert Vista territory here with 2:03 remaining here in our third quarter.
We're all shaking our heads about that, JP. Butter, that play got really wiped away because of possibly a holding call. Really?
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Otis hurtling through the defense, still on his feet. And Jamarlin Otis across the 25-yard line, finally brought down at the 22. And this young man is special, no doubt about it. Colleges need to be getting on 23.
Yep. Again, props go to this offensive line from Mountain Point. Again, number 71 popping out in the front. Jorge Moreno letting Bobo Otis, as you see Bobo come off. He gets a breather for a second. Coach Lauer right up there up front.
Handoff once again on the play there. And not much room that time. And that was number 29 on the carry there for Mountain Point, the freshman Jameer McKinney. So great to see once again these young players getting in the ball game and trying to feel out this varsity level football.
And it's definitely a different level, isn't it, James?
Oh, it sure is. And it only gets turned up a couple more notches when you go up to the college level.
Yep.
Everybody gets faster and stronger. Handoff.
Ooh.
Otis. No, that's McKinney. Jameer McKinney into the end zone for the touchdown. My goodness. How about at the 5'5" freshman showing you the quicks right there. Did you see that sidestep, Ed? And after that, he was into the open space, and no one even in the same zip code.
That sidestep is what got McKinney that touchdown. He stepped right back on in the middle, saw that hole, popped right through that hole, and he was gone. Nobody was ever going to touch him because of that double move, that little pop in, as we see McKinney come off from the field. Great execution on that drive, again, by the offensive line and this running attack of R.J. Washington, Bobo Otis, Jameer McKinney. He's so deep on the running game. We talked about the history of great running backs in this program, and they're continuing on with these three running backs.
A legacy of outstanding running backs here, initiated way back in the day by head coach Norris Vaughn, who was here for a number of years. Coach Lauer, an assistant under Coach Vaughn, and Francisco Orduño with the PAT makes it 31-7 Pride with 50 seconds remaining here in our third quarter. Desert Vista going to have to get on their horse here to get back in this one.
4 rushing touchdowns so far from Mountain Pointe. 3 by Bobo, this one by Jameer McKinney. They are flexing their muscles when it comes to the running game. When you got a strong offensive line and you have 3 outstanding running backs, these kind of things happen because you're running the football and your offensive line's blocking for you, and it's just almost perfect execution offensively.
Great push by that offensive line up front, and then a lot of times they're able to even get up to that second level, get to those linebackers.
Yes.
And then after that, it is just pick your poison there for the running back, and how do you want to do your thing?
Yeah, again, how many times did we call Jorge Moreno already up in that second level of the defense, up in those linebackers, letting Bobo do his thing because number 71's already popped out there, and he's, again, paving the way for you to get yards.
This just in, folks. It all starts up front here in this game of tackle football.
Did we not say one of the keys to the game? Dominate on the offensive line and the defensive lines, and that's what Mountain Pointe's doing.
The second place Ahwatukee Bowl comes to us from the year 2021, where Desert Vista got the win over Mountain Pointe 28-21 in overtime. We'll give you the specifics of that ball game here in just a moment after this first down now for Desert Vista from their own 20. And there we are, high atop the broadcast booth. Good-looking shot there from Mr. Seth Regman, doing a great job for us all season long with that drone work. And I tell you, it really takes things up a notch here,
really
Ed.
Does.
Literally.
Where is it?
I don't know. I can't find it.
Seth, where's that drone? Where you got that thing?
A gain of 5 on the play.
Oh, it's over
Second
there.
down and 5 now for Desert Vista. They'll hand it off inside. And that looks to be was that Camden Nolan on that carry right there?
It looked like it.
It might have been, as the final 10 seconds run off the clock here. And we are headed for quarter number 4. We've played 36 minutes of tackle football here at Carl Kiefer Stadium. We will return for fourth quarter action. It's the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl, live on Thursday night kickoff right here on CW7 Arizona. Stay with us. We'll be back for the fourth and final quarter.
You love high school football? Visit Dave & Buster's Tempe before or after the game. Wear your school's colors, and Dave & Buster's will donate 20% of your check to your school's athletic department. For more details, visit daveandbusters.com.
I'm Doug Hopkins, and I still want to buy your house. Other buyers may try to make you an offer without ever coming to see your home. I will never do that. We will make you a fair offer on the spot and will never cancel. That's the Doug Hopkins difference. Go to DougHopkins.com today.
We welcome you back for the fourth and final quarter here in the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl from Carl Kiefer Stadium in Phoenix. We'll send it down to the sideline. Our sideline reporter, Mr. Parker Garash. Take it away, Part.
What's up, guys? The Mountain Point Pride fans are feeling pretty good right now, and it is because of Bobo Otis. The running backs got offers from NAU, Sam Houston, Louisiana Tech, Lamar, Houston, and Grambling State, and he is showing why he has got those and many other schools interested in him with his 3-touchdown performance tonight. Going to be a great fourth quarter here at Mountain Point, but I'll send it back to you guys for now.
Nice gain on the play there from wide receiver Cale Moore. Special shout out once again to Mr. Parker Garash, joining us all season long on the sideline here for the Thursday night kickoff presentation on CW7 Arizona. We could not be happier to have you on board, my friend. Stuffed in the backfield that time by the right side of that defensive line for Mountain Point. Following the game tonight, be sure to stick around for CW7 Prime and their all-new game night, featuring Scrabble and Trivial Pursuit. It's entertaining, challenging, and as we always like to say here on CW7 Arizona, it's all good. Hansen over the middle. Cale Moore with the reception, but he paid for it right there with a little lick provided by Jalen Coulter. And I tell you what, Cale Moore was lucky to hang on to that football right there, Ed.
He was. And that is a linebacker's dream, to see a guy just catch the football and you can just lay a lick on him. You can just lay him out if you want to. Great job by Coulter seeing that and just getting right to the wide receiver.
Two receivers to each side for Hansen. He's going to go down for a sack. My goodness. The train was coming that time. Number 43, Marley Felly. You see him get rid of that offensive lineman right there. We call that a long arm. And shed that blocker and make that stop.
Felly also, number 21, Taylor Caldwell, the linebacker, also came on in there. But it's again, three guys coming after the quarterback. What can you do when you've got all these guys coming after you and pressure's coming from all different directions? All you can do is step up. But when you step up, there's three other guys coming off that pressure that you got from one guy coming off your right side, and then you take the sack.
Marion Overstreet and Ryland Dillard Allen, the Washington University commit. This punt is slightly blocked, but it takes a Desert Vista bounce. It's still loose on the carpet, and Desert Vista is going to come up with it, and they'll spot him at the 46-yard line, so an even shorter porch now for the Mountain Point Pride. So our officiating crew will talk it over there.
Yeah, the field judge said that Mountain Point had it.
Our field judge tonight is Mr. Travis Keedy. You see those gentlemen conversing there right quick. And we'll get the official word here from Mr. Steve Castillo. And I believe it's all about where the ball is going to be spotted. It should be Mountain Point football. It wasn't like it was a muff punt.
No, it was clearly blocked. It was somewhat blocked.
So the ball will end up at the 48-yard line of Desert Vista. First down and 10, Mountain Point, with 9:35 remaining here in our fourth quarter. We remind you to head on over to the Epic Sports Network on YouTube tomorrow night for the 2A playoffs, as we'll feature the Parker Bronx. They will take on the Tonopah Valley Phoenix. I'll be on the air at 6:45 p.m. with my partner, Mr. Tim Pearson. And we'll have that call for you out there from Tonopah Valley, Arizona. Throwing down the field, caught by Chase Shoemate. And we got a new quarterback into the ballgame now. Mr. Robert Knorr has taken over for Michael Tollefson. So a little play action right there for you. And he connects with Chase Shoemate out on the edge that time. First down and 10, Pride from the Desert Vista 34-yard line. Knorr from the shotgun. He drops back the pass, shrugs the shoulders, goes downfield, caught. Chase Shoemate on the reception. And the 5'10" senior wide receiver making it look easy that time A good-looking throw there as well from Robert Knorr.
Knorr comes in 2 really good plays. It's been like a quarterback by committee. Both of the guys, Butter and Knorr, have kind of went back and forth as far as all season long goes. So it's not like Knorr hasn't gotten time. It's just he alternates between him and Butter getting that start.
A 6-yard gain on the play brings up 2nd down and 4 now. 2 by 1 on the outside here. Knorr back to pass, swing route, caught by Washington. And Washington forced out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And it'll be another Mountain Point Pride first down.
Coming into the game, Robert Knorr, 64 of 114, 970 yards, inching even closer toward 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions for Knorr.
Good-looking stat total there. They've been rotating quarterbacks just about all season long here at Mountain Point High School. And Tollefson got most of the work here tonight in this 28th Tukey Bowl.
But what's been impressive tonight is their running attack. 4 rushing touchdowns, James. 3 by Bobo.
Bobo has been on fire. Knorr goes to the air. Tries to drop it in the bucket there. The ball falls incomplete, and the penalty flag, as we would expect, as once again the defensive back not turning his head and trying to play the football. Chase Shoemate, the intended target, and Shoemate is coming up with a little bit of a right shoulder issue, it appears.
Camden Noland was out there in coverage. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to get a call for the pass interference.
Mr. Steve Castillo confirms the pass interference call. This Mountain Point band doing a great job out here as well tonight. Drum line is on point.
Makes me go back to my days in the marching band in high school.
That's right. Were you in the marching band?
Yeah, I was in Harrisburg High School. I was first trumpet in the marching band.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Wrestled in the backfield there, number 29. Once again, that is Jameer McKinney. Had himself a touchdown just a few minutes ago. And McKinney having a little trouble getting away from those white jerseys there of the Desert Vista Thunder.
You've got to get penetration if you're DV, because they've already gashed your defense with 4 rushing touchdowns. Again, 3 from Bobo, 3 from Jameer McKinney. So you've got to find a way to get through that offensive line and get these running backs, because they have been really good tonight. As we take a look at that DV defensive line.
Yes, sir. 31-7 as we approach 8 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. 2 by 2 on the outside for Knorr. He drops back. Near side, it's caught. This one's Bobo. Bobo shakes loose from a defender there and weaves his way down to the 15-yard line.
Bobo again just out there open in the flat, and Knorr just makes the completion. Whether it's him being open in the flat or R.J. Washington being open in the flat, those are the kind of dangerous things that can happen if you're Mountain Point and you let a wide receiver or / running back, in Bobo's case, get out there and get loose in the flat.
4th down upcoming now. It'll be a field goal attempt here. A 32-yard attempt for Francisco Orduno. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. And just underneath the crescent moon, it's through the uprights. Penalty flag on the play. And that might be a roughing the kicker or possibly a running into the kicker. You don't see a whole lot of running into the kicker in high school. It's probably a roughing call.
Yep, running into the kicker.
So roughing into the kicker is going to bring up a first down now for the Mountain Point Pride. So they'll wipe the field goal off the scoreboard, but Mountain Point's going to be set up with a first down and goal now from the 10. We talked earlier about that 2021 Tukey Bowl. 28-21, Desert Vista gets the win in overtime. Both teams were improved over the shortened COVID year when they combined for 1 win. Both were in the playoffs, and the season finale determined where they'd be seated. After ending regulation tied at 21, it went to overtime. We'll give you that information here in a moment. Knorr rolls out to his right. A little quarterback keeper, Robert Knorr, down at the 5-yard line. And a nice gainer there for Robert Knorr. It should be 2nd down and 5 now when we resume play here. Back in that 2021 game, when it went to overtime, senior running back Devin Grubbs got his third touchdown of the game with a short run for the 7-point lead. Mountain Pointe had its turn to match and faced a fourth down from the 19-yard line. Quarterback Chris Arviso rolled out, looked for a wide receiver, but was sacked by Antonio Delgado to end the ball game. 2021 Tukey Bowl ended in overtime with Desert Vista getting the win 28-21 over the Mountain Pointe Pride. We'll give you the #1 ranked Tukey Bowl here in the next few minutes, and was it a doozy?
Yes, it was.
We'll give you a hint. It went to 5 overtimes, Ed. 5 overtimes.
That is unbelievable. 5 overtimes. That lets you know how strong this rivalry is. For the #1 game way back in the day to go to 5 overtimes.
That #1 game happened at the turn of the new millennium in the year 2000. You remember that, Ed? Everybody heading to Home Depot to buy up all the water and the toilet paper?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Ball is on the carpet. The toss, little trouble there. And it looks like Desert Vista has come up with the football. They do indeed recover. In that #1 Tukey Bowl from the year 2000, it went to 5 overtimes. Desert Vista got the win 38-35, and what a show it was. In a classic, the two teams battled for 3.5 hours. Mountain Pointe came in at 5-4, but had already clinched the region championship. Mountain Pointe tied the game with 20 seconds left in regulation with a touchdown play from Ryan Cozzetto to Brian Hernandez. Mountain Pointe had a chance to win it in the second overtime, but Cozzetto collapsed when he planted his foot. It turned out he tore his ACL early in the game and wasn't even aware of it. In the third overtime, each team scored a touchdown. In the fourth overtime, each team scored a touchdown. And then in the fifth overtime, Mountain Pointe missed a field goal. On Desert Vista's turn, Brock Rideout became the hero with a 25-yard field goal to end it. This Thunder team had Zach Miller on it, and his brother Brent had 3 touchdown passes for Desert Vista. Mountain Pointe went on to lose the next week to Brophy, and for Desert Vista, it was a 4-6 season, but an unforgettable finish.
You better believe it. For 5 overtimes, and they were able to pull that thing out by 3.
Down the field it goes. The ball is intercepted at the 48-yard line. And Mountain Pointe trying to put the nail in the coffin right here with 6.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Seth Hansen was looking for Aeneas Redmond, his wide receiver, but he was really well covered by the defensive backs by Mountain Pointe. Mountain Pointe got the interception, got the inside position on Redmond and got the interception. He just laid it up there a little bit too high, and the defensive backs were able to come under the coverage and get the interception.
Great job there by the Mountain Pointe secondary. 6.5 minutes remaining here in our fourth quarter. Robert Knorr back in the game at quarterback. 2-by-1 on the outside now. Play fake. Far side completion at the 44. On the run, that is number 80 for Mountain Pointe. And getting loose there and getting positive yardage was Michael Porter. So Porter with a nice gain. Down to the 33-yard line of Desert Vista. First down and 10 Pride. McKinney gets the handoff, and he is swallowed up in the backfield there by the Desert Vista run support unit, led that time by Cole Gomez.
And you see Cole Gomez make a very nice read. He just stayed up there and run support. He saw that McKinney was getting the football and just high pointed it right to McKinney and made the tackle. Very nice job by number 24 to get that tackle.
Put down a TFL of 3 yards right there. Second down and 13 now. Knorr play fake, sets the feet down the field, caught. Washington on the reception, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Jay Washington, the 5'7" senior, making his mark as well here tonight in this 28th annual Tukey Bowl.
Yeah, once Washington got that football from Noor, his speed just took over. He got away from Braylon Edwards and just scooted down the sidelines and into the end zone for the touchdown. What do we say in sports, JP, in football? Speed kills.
Speed kills.
And it killed the DB defense right there.
You cannot tackle what you cannot catch, my friend. And Six was off to the races there once he got into the open field. Francisco Orduno on now for another PAT here for the Pride. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. Penalty flags on the play. We'll check with Mr. Steve Castillo here for the official word. Illegal shift assessed to Mountain Pointe. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, and they will retry the PAT. So a little bit more of a challenge here for Orduno, but I don't have any doubt that he can knock this one through the uprights.
He's already kicked 2 field goals.
Yes.
He should be able to make an extra point.
He almost hit that 50-yarder there as well. It was wide by about 5 feet or so. There's Orduno right there, knocking it onto Knox Road. Our score with 5 minutes and 24 seconds remaining here in our fourth quarter. The Mountain Pointe Pride 38 and the Desert Vista Thunder 7. Let's take a brief commercial timeout and return for more fourth quarter action. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break.
Thursday Night Kickoff is sponsored in part by NextCare Urgent Care.
We love doctors. They bring us into the world. They take care of us when we're sick.
But when they make a mistake during pregnancy or childbirth, it can have lifelong catastrophic consequences for you and your child. If you believe your child suffered a birth injury, call Lerner and Rowe today.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt, the all-time favorite, with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt, just like you like it.
Big rigs can cause big injuries. Get big help. Get Lerner and Rowe.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
We welcome you back to Carl Kiefer Stadium here in Phoenix. The Mountain Pointe Pride all over the Desert Vista Thunder, 38-7. 5 minutes and 23 seconds remaining here in our fourth quarter as we give you that outstanding high-level shot, high over top of Mountain Pointe High School. Opened in 1991, Ed. What were you doing in 1991, my friend?
I was 21 years old. What was I doing? I was in college.
Man.
Listen, good days for me.
A college man. 91, I was a sophomore in high school.
Sophomore.
Playing football at Berkner High School in Richardson, Texas. Under Coach Doobie. Time for our Student Athlete of the Week. This one comes from the fine folks at Thomas Law, and it also comes from the Desert Vista Thunder.
Oh, yes, sir. Thomas Law would like to recognize another Student Athlete of the Week, our third for tonight from Desert Vista, Alexandria Woodruff. She's a senior who plays on the women's flag football team for DV. Alexandria carries a 3.93 GPA. Bless your heart, girl. You go ahead. And she hopes to attend the University of Washington, also alongside our young man from, what was that?
Ryland Dillard Allen, Batman.
Batman. Yeah, she wants to go there to the University of Washington. She wants to study business and architecture. So congratulations, Alexandria, on becoming the Thomas Law Student Athlete of the Week.
Congratulations for sure. Lucas Schermeyer on the carry that time for the Desert Vista Thunder. And I tell you what, Ed, it's been so great to honor all these outstanding student athletes all season long here on the Thursday Night Kickoff.
Oh, yeah, and there's so many young men and young ladies that we did not get included. I mean, we could do an entire broadcast just full of these young men and young women who just achieve at a high level. But it was great that we got 3 in tonight.
The future of our country, Ed. 3-by-1 on the outside now. A little tunnel screen this time, complete to Isaac Price, who's still on his feet, rumbling across the 35-yard line. Finally brought down at the 35.5, I believe. CW7 is your home for college football. This Saturday, a triple header, a football frenzy of games, and it all kicks off with an ACC matchup between Syracuse and Boston College. And then we head off west as the San Jose State Spartans battle the Oregon State Beavers. The nightcap features the Utah State Aggies and the Washington State Cougars. So get comfy, lock yourself in, get all the snacks and all the vittles that you need for Saturday. We got a triple header for you coming up on CW7 this Saturday, and it all starts at 10 a.m.
That's a nice triple header, isn't it, James?
It is. I'll be locked in for that one, no doubt about it. We'll also be watching the bracket release show on Saturday morning. That'll be coming your way courtesy of the fine folks over at AZ Preps 365. That'll be on the air at 8 a.m. via the NFHS network. So you can just go ahead and stay right there. And you'll be watching tomorrow night's 2A playoff game right there on the Epic Sports Network on the NFHS network. So tune in at 6:45 p.m. Out of bounds on the far side goes Seth Hansen. He'll scramble for 6, maybe 7 yards on the play. And if you're looking for more high school coverage, then head on over to CW7AZ.com or simply scan that QR code on your screen. You'll find links for the Friday Night Red Zone, our exclusive coaches show, the pep rally here this morning, and much, much more. It's all right there for you. We got you covered in the high school realm here on CW7 Arizona. Lucas Scherermeyer once again on the carry there for Desert Vista, and it's good for another Thunder first down and a little bit of hurry up now here for DV. And as soon as we say that, a stoppage of play, we got a lot of extracurricular activity on the field now. And that looks like big number 9, Caleb Jones right there.
We got number 65, Jackson France, out there. He's got his helmet off.
I tried to get the replay run on that right there, Ed, but unfortunately we weren't able to catch it on tape.
I think Sonia would have shot it down anyway.
She did. We might have got that from the high drone shot there, but I'll tell you what, the frustration is starting to mount, obviously, on that Desert Vista sideline. No one wants to go down in a rivalry game like this.
No, you know, emotions run high in these rivalry games. It's not going your way. Clearly, you're down 31 points. You're heading toward a 1-9 season, so everything's just kind of spiraling right now for Desert Vista, but you've got to be able to keep your control, your inner control, and you just can't you can't just lose yourself like that.
And I believe that might have been one of those typical things you see in football where it's the second guy who gets the penalty flag.
Yeah, the second guy always gets caught. Yes.
So it looks like number 9, Caleb Jones, has been disqualified here from the final 3:56 of the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl. And very unfortunate as that young man, we had him on the kickoff show back at Burrito Express back in mid to late May, I believe it was. Seems like a long time ago now, Ed.
It was a long time ago.
And he is nothing but dominant up front there for the Mount Point Pride.
He is, but it's unfortunate that he got ran. You know, his emotions again got the best of him, and unfortunately he got disqualified. As one of the coaches on the coaching staff are over there talking to him. He's sitting on the bench, literally directly in front of us, just all the way down the steps on the track. But it's a shame that that Caleb got disqualified in such a great game that the Pride are running right now.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way you want to end your senior season, especially if you're able to possibly make the playoffs, and then that would carry over, unfortunately. If they do make the playoffs, he might be out of that game as well. So anyway, you mentioned it a little bit ago. You got to be able to keep those emotions in check, and This is an emotional game, this game of football.
Oh, sure it is. And then tack on the fact that it's one of your most hated rival.
Yes.
Your hated rival, a team that you detest.
Yes. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
2-by-2 on the outside now. Penalty flags fly. Maybe our early motion, the early indication is offsides.
Mm-hmm.
So encroachment there assessed to Mountain Pointe. Two by two on the outside. A pass into the end zone. It falls incomplete. The intended target was Isaac Price. And Price just not able to haul that one in. A little quick slant route. He ran that skinny post right there, Ed. And the ball just a little bit too tall there from Seth Hansen.
But what a great effort by Price to try to extend.
It was.
As far as his body would let him, he tried to extend and catch the football, but unfortunately number 15 was not able to pull it in.
Second and goal. Seth Hansen swings it out far side. Price able to catch that one, but not a whole lot of room to run there on the edge. Stopped on the play there by Jacob Carter.
That was a great job by Jacob Carter getting off that block, rubbing off that wide receiver that was trying to block for him, that was trying to block him away. He got away from him, shedded that block, and got the tackle. Great job by number 7.
Third down and goal now. Third and goal here for the Thunder. A little full house backfield now. They'll hand it off to the big fella. He plunges ahead and into the end zone for the touchdown. Boy, I tell you what, wouldn't Marcus Spears be proud of that right there? That is what he likes to call big man balling.
Yes, sir. Afasong Okan with the touchdown run. The big fella, 6 foot, 310 pounds, gets the handoff from QB1, gets into the end zone. Great job by number 50. Get him involved. Get big man into the end zone for the touchdown.
Boy, I know when we saw those two split backs line up back there beside Seth Hansen, I knew something special was coming up.
Yep.
And Big 50 just swallows that thing whole and runs it into the end zone for 6.
I mean, when you're down 31, you just...
So we have offsetting penalties there after the touchdown. And so the 6 points will count for Desert Vista. And number 50, I would imagine that's probably his first touchdown of the season. Possibly his first touchdown of his career, Ed.
Possibly, yeah.
Afasong Okan making it look nice right in there. I got to send that in to Marcus Spears. And maybe we can get that on NFL Live, because I know he would love to see the big fella rumbling into the end zone there.
Yes,
from about 3 yards out. Let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Mr. Parker Garash. Take it away, Park.
Thanks, guys. Got some information from some people here on the sideline regarding the incident with Caleb Jones. He ripped the helmet off of the offensive lineman and hit him with it. So he is, of course, ejected for this game, suspended for next game, and possibly going to be suspended for further if they continue on in the playoffs. That's a big-time player for them, an Arizona commit, and one of their leading tacklers on defense. So not something that you want to see if you're a Mountain Pointe fan here. And with how they're being pretty undisciplined right now, the coaches are very furious with them. So let's see what can happen here in the next 3 minutes with the game wrapping up. But unfortunate circumstances for Mountain Pointe and Caleb Jones. But we'll see what can happen here.
Here in our fourth quarter. So glad to join us here tonight from Mountain Pointe High School here in Phoenix. Carl Kiefer Stadium, the site of the 28th Ahwatukee Bowl. Empty backfield now for Seth Hansen on third down and goal. Goes to the air. Got a man in there for the 2-point conversion. Aeneas Redmond on the reception there. And making it look easy right over the top of Batman. What a great touch pass there that time from Seth Hansen.
That was a nice throw from Hansen to Redmond. As you see Redmond just kind of fading back toward the back corner of the end zone. Very good throw by Hansen over top of the defensive back for Aeneas Redmond.
There you see the live shot of the trophies right now. This is a not only an Ahwatukee Bowl, Ed, but they also call it the Superfood Bowl, where they have a food drive here on campus every single year. There you see the results of the previous 27 Tukey Bowls, and there's the Superfood Cup right there. Both these teams do a great job getting food donations for the local community and the local food banks, and it's all about the community out here in Ahwatukee.
It really is all about giving back and just supporting those who need it the most. And for them to be a part of the Superfood Cup and just everything that they can do to give back to the community, that means everything to everybody that needs it.
2:51 remaining here in our fourth quarter. Once again, we remind you, tomorrow night we'll be live on the Epic Sports Network, on the NFHS Network. So just search Epic Sports Network, go to NFHSnetwork.com, and we will have a two-way playoff matchup for you as the Parker Broncs come from the Western Slope and battle the Tonopah Valley Phoenix under the direction of Coach Brett Davis. They run the run and shoot out there, Ed, something we haven't seen since the Warren Moon days and the Love You Blue Houston Oilers.
Yes. That was some great football back in those days, wasn't it?
Until they played the Broncos and annihilated them one time in the Astrodome. But we won't talk about that right here tonight, okay? That was a nice 5-hour drive back to Dallas after that shellacking. But, you know, I remain true, Ed. That's what I'm saying. I will never go down with the ship. 38-15 our score. Mountain Pointe leading the Desert Vista Thunder. Back deep to receive, Marion Overstreet. A little onside kick here. Tipped up into the air. And finally fielded on the far side over there by the Mountain Pointe Pride. So they'll have the ball at the 30-yard line when we resume play here. And following the game tonight, be sure to stick around for CW7 Prime and their all-new game night. Featuring Scrabble and Trivial Pursuit. It's entertaining, challenging, and as we always like to say here on CW7 Arizona, it's all good. Sonia's got to be tired of hearing that by now, I would imagine, but who knows? Who knows?
She may enjoy it. I don't know.
Maybe the folks at home are muting their TVs by now on that. I don't know, but we have a good time with it anyway. 2 by 1 on the outside now for Robert Knorr in the offense. Penalty flags at the snap. It's assessed to the defense now. There's a great look from high overhead. Once again, special shout out to all the crew on hand here tonight, and we're going to run through that crew list here in just a little bit, as I know Mr. Sissick has that graphic ready to go back at the station there. Under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up second down and short here after the penalty, which was assessed to Desert Vista. Second down and 3 to be exact. 2 by 1 on the outside now. Now we have a different quarterback into the ballgame. The ball's on the carpet. And we'll see who was able to come up with it. Christian Escobedo is in the ballgame, the sophomore. And the future gunslinger of Mountain Pointe football into the ballgame now. Escobedo, a transfer this season into Mountain Pointe, so he wasn't eligible to play until game 6. So getting him some valuable varsity reps and working him into this Pride offense here.
And that's a really good offense for him to be worked into.
It sure is. especially with that stable of thoroughbreds they have over here from Mount Pointe. Every single year, it seems.
They don't rebuild, they just reload, don't they, JP?
They just reload. You're exactly right, Ed. Timeout on the field called by the Mountain Pointe Pride.
Folks, while we got a second, the NASCAR Xfinity Championship rolls into Phoenix, live from PIR, Phoenix Raceway. CW7 Arizona brings you every lap, every turn of NASCAR Xfinity's top drivers to see who will be crowned champion. Coverage begins Saturday at 5 p.m. on CW7, your new home for Arizona racing, NASCAR style.
I'm excited for Saturday. You got a ton of college football. We've got bracket releases for the 4, 5, and 6A divisions of Arizona high school football. And then you close out on Saturday evening with the NASCAR Xfinity Championship. It doesn't get much better than that, Ed. And not to mention gorgeous weather here, finally, in the Valley of the Sun.
Oh, yeah. Then, of course, you roll into Sunday. The Cardinals are hosting the New York Jets. They have a possibility of winning that game. They'll go to 6-4 if they win the game. So the Cardinals are in first place. The Suns are playing really well. They're 7-1, one of the hottest teams in the NBA. So things are really working well as far as our local sports are concerned. Right, Sonia?
A lot of smiles on Valley sports fans here over the last, I would say, week and a half or so. Cardinals getting the ship righted out there in Glendale.
Oh, and by the way, ASU is playing really well as well.
Oh, they are. That's
They're balling out. Yep. Got a big win over Oklahoma State.
How about Cam Scadaboo? This young man, no doubt, has to be in the Heisman Trophy conversation.
I would think so.
And if you haven't had a chance to get over to Burrito Express and try the Burrito, which is named after Cam Scadaboo, do yourself a favor and drop by one of your local 6 area Burrito Express locations. Proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff right here on CW7 Arizona, and right on cue, the graphics department working overtime tonight back at the mothership over there at 44th and Camelback.
Mercifully, we're down to our final 40 seconds in this game so we can pack up and get to some heat.
Split backs there for Escobedo. They'll punt it away. This one trails out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 49-yard line, make it the 50. So out of bounds at the 50-yard line, 34 seconds remaining here in our fourth quarter. And you see the night lights of Phoenix here on a Thursday night. And Ed, I got to tell you, I'm excited to have no more election commercials over the past day and a half or so.
Yeah, it was great to not get any texts.
Yes.
No emails from Tim Walz or Kamala Harris.
Or anyone.
Or anybody. Any politician trying to run for office.
Great look from high over the campus at Mountain Pointe High School.
It's a fantastic campus here.
It really is.
Beautiful.
Far side handoff. Doing a great job trying to stay upright right there was Jaden Williams. And the sophomore, you can tell he got tripped up there a little bit as he got the handoff.
Yeah.
But he was able to keep his feet and almost get back to the original line of scrimmage. Look at the shot from high overhead, courtesy of Mr. Seth Regman, doing a fantastic job for us all season long. You can see those Valley night lights right there on a Thursday. And the 28th Ahwatukee Bowl is in the books. The Mountain Pointe Pride win it by the final score of 38-15 behind the outstanding offensive line play here tonight. And I think, Ed, it's time to give him our player of the game, who we'll catch up with here after the break.
Yes, it's none other than Jamarlin Bobo Otis. 3 rushing touchdowns for that young man. He is absolutely deserving to be the player of the game, as Parker Garash will catch up with him after the break.
We'll send it to break, come back, and return for the very brief postgame show. You're watching Thursday Night Kickoff right here on Arizona CW7. We'll catch up with Jamarlin Bobo Otis right after this. Stay with us.
Serious injury cases are complex and require extensive experience to get maximum results. Our experience helped us just settle a catastrophic injury case for $15 million. That's Hastings & Hastings. It's about time.
The Black Friday thank you sale is on at Sanderson Ford. We're thankful for our country, our employees, and our customers who make it possible for us to give back. To show our appreciation, the Black Friday thank you sale is on now.
Get new F-150 trucks with 3.9 APR financing for 66 months, plus up to $4,000 cash back.
Thank you for your business over the past 70 years.
We're Arizona's pride, Sanderson Ford.
You love high school football? Visit Dave & Buster's Tempe before or after the game. Wear your school's colors, and Dave & Buster's will donate 20% of your check to your school's athletic department. For more details, visit daveandbusters.com.
The Mountain Pointe Pride get the victory tonight in the 28th annual Awatuki Bowl by the final score of 38-15 as we welcome you back to Carl Kiefer Stadium here in Phoenix. Ed, it was a dominating performance here tonight by the Mountain Pointe Pride, especially by that offensive line.
It was Jamarlin Bobo Otis, our player of the game, 3 rushing touchdowns. We had a rushing touchdown from Jamar McKinney, and R.J. Washington had a touchdown catch as well. So it was a dominant performance, as you mentioned, on offense and defense to only hold DV to 15 points. They did their part. Special teams was awesome as well. Francisco Orduno had a field goal, a lot of extra points, and just a thorough victory as they move their record to 6-4.
We look forward to catching up with Jamarlin Bobo Otis. He'll be joining our sideline reporter, Mr. Parker Garash, here in a matter of moments as the Mountain Pointe Pride increase their series lead now 15-13 over the Desert Vista Thunders, who welcome you into the broadcast booth here high atop Carl Kiefer Stadium. A great game here tonight, but it was mostly Pride here at home in front of their home fans. Let's toss it down to Mr. Parker Garash, who's standing by on the sideline. Take it away, Park.
Appreciate it, guys. Coach, I want to start with you. Another big win against a rival, your guys' 3rd straight victory against Desert Vista. How are you feeling after a win like this tonight?
It was a little sloppy, but we'll take it. Tukey Bowl, all records go out the window, and it's a tough, hard-fought game, and both teams played hard tonight. So we're just appreciative that we were able to come out with the win.
And this guy right here was one of the biggest reasons you won. Bobo, you came in from out of state, 3 touchdowns on the night in a big rivalry game. What were you feeling like coming into tonight, and how were you able to be such a power running back for Mountain Pointe in tonight's game?
Well, coming out tonight, it's my birthday, so I had to go crazy tonight. It was only right. And my O-line, man, they just do a real good job of blocking up front, and I just do what I do best, man. Get to that second level, make a man miss him, go score.
And Coach, final question for you. Like you said, all records are out the window now with it being playoff time. How confident are you in your group heading into the 2024 state playoff run?
We've been getting better every year, every week. These guys are getting closer every week, so the playoffs are here, and we greatly appreciate it. So we're ready to roll.
Great job tonight, guys. Great win, and look forward to seeing what happens for you guys in the postseason. Back to you guys in the booth.
Great stuff there from our player of the game, Jamarlin Bobo Otis. 3 rushing touchdowns on the night, and Coach Eric Lauer has to be proud of the effort from his entire football team. We'll take a brief commercial timeout and come back and wrap this one up from Mountain Pointe High School in Phoenix. Stay with us.
GIA Diamonds, lowest prices ever. The Jewelry Exchange has natural 1-carat GIAs just $19.90. Custom mounts are just $4.99. Carat 50, $29.90. 2-carat, $59.90. Thousands of diamonds guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange, Phoenix.
Whether you've been hurt in a car, motorcycle, or trucking accident, what you do next matters. Make sure to call Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Every month, my firm and I help hundreds of people get the medical treatment they need and the financial compensation they deserve, all without paying a dime out of pocket. Recently, 5 out of the top 50 settlements came from Sweet James. Call the firm awarded Best Attorneys in America. Call Sweet James.
I'm Brandon Raffy from Raffy Law Group. Arizona is my home. I grew up in Arizona, I went to school in Arizona, and I love helping fellow Arizonans. So if you've been injured in a car accident, call Raffy Law Group, a local attorney.
Pointe celebrates a 38-15 victory here in the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl as we get you down there inside the celebration, courtesy of our fine crew here on hand tonight. Mr. Jamal Gumo working our sideline camera tonight. And Ed, it has been such a pleasure being here on CW7 Arizona for a 12-game regular season here on Thursday Night Kickoff. No bye weeks. We took this thing all the way wire to wire, and it has been quite an outstanding time.
Oh, yeah. 12 straight weeks of football. Wow. It'll be good to have Thursday nights free again. But, yeah, it's been an honor for us to be on the CW7 Arizona and to bring you 12 straight weeks of high school football. The only place where you can really get solid coverage on the CW7 Arizona on Thursday Night Kickoff. We can't wait until next fall for season 2 of it.
Yeah, we're bringing it back next season. We're so excited to be on the air once again in 2025. It's been an outstanding year here on CW7 Arizona as we take a look one more time at field level. And we'd like to shout out everyone who has helped made this thing possible here this season. Of course, my color analyst has been on hand. Mr. Ed Cole. Our sideline reporters this season have been Parker Garash and Sam Goodman. Our super producer, Miss Sonia Tellez, doing a great job up here for us as well. On our audio engineering side, it's been Mr. Stephen Moore and Jude Heel back at the mothership there at CW7 Arizona at 44th and Camelback. Our camera operators this season, Mr. Jamal Gumo, Stu Radicek Jr., Angel Amador, and Dylan Suarez. Our drone operator this season has been Mr. Seth Regman. Graphics this season have been ran by Mr. Enzo Durso and Brecken Poovey and Dallas Poovey. My son's doing a great job for us. Their 4th year here on Thursday Night Kickoff. It takes a village to put this thing on. Our feature reporters, Mr. Eliav Gabai, Brad Perry, Teresa Strasser, and Jordan Spurgeon. Our CW7 videographers, Miss Maddie Riley and Arnold Corella. We love Arnold. We got a chance to work with him up there in Prescott Valley. And our CW7 Thursday Night Kickoff producer is Kelly Lederman. Engineering department is Brad Singleton, Ton Wynn, and Devin Benson. Tommy Carano and Michael Gallagher in the marketing department.
Tommy.
Our production manager, Dr. Brian Sissick, and our CW7 general manager. Once again, thanks to Miss Tracy Wilkinson for believing in what we're doing here and having us as part of the CW7 family this season. It's been a blast, Ed.
Yes, it has. I cannot wait for season 2 next fall. Can we get to next fall now?
Can we get to next fall now? That's right. Our final score here once again tonight from the 28th annual Ahwatukee Bowl. The Pride getting the victory over the Thunder by the final score of 38-15. Don't forget, we're on the air tomorrow night on the Epic Sports Network on the NFHS Network. Just search up Epic Sports Network on NFHSnetwork.com, and you will find us. We have a 2A broadcast on the air as the Parker Bronx come to town to battle the Tonopah Valley Phoenix. For everyone on hand here tonight, for everyone back at the mothership at 44th and Camelback, I'm James Poovey saying so long. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you in August 2025. So long, folks.